And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a Blue Sox Stadium. It's Blue Sox Baseball, proudly brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. We've got you now, and it is Blue Sox Baseball, if you heard in the background, proudly brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. We're broadcasting live on Blue Sox TV from Blacktown International Sports Park on this Friday, the 29th of November, 2019. Good evening, everyone. My name's Paul Harradine, otherwise known as Harrow, and along with Big Cam Hickson and a very special guest to be announced very, very shortly. We're all ready to go for what promises to be a terrific night for some world-class baseball once again. Right now we'll cross over to Big Cam himself. Cam, what's the weather and ground conditions like out there tonight? Looks good.
Yeah, good evening, Harrow. Good evening, viewers, wherever you may be, right around this wonderful world of ours in this world of baseball. Yeah, very nice evening out here at Blacktown. Overcast, but no threat of rain really coming in tonight. It is still around about that 30-degree mark out here, so still rather sticky out here in the west of Sydney. That equates to about 90 Fahrenheit for those that are over in the States or in other parts of the world. So still nice and warm out here in the late evening, but there is a threat of rain tomorrow, so we'll stay tuned for that one. But wind is a little bit different for Blacktown here, Harrow. It seems to be blowing out from third base, which is a little bit different here for Blacktown. So left-handed hitters will really get an advantage if they can put it down that right field line and keep it tight to the foul pole. They might see a couple disappear out of Blacktown with this breeze.
Yeah, certainly can, Cam, and the flag over there, the Australian flag in right field, is blowing across that direction that you said, and it's good to see it up there flying high. And of course, the first game in this four-game series was a shutout for the Blue Sox. Alessandro Astri held a beauty, going 7 innings and only giving up 4 hits in that game. Todd Van Steensel came in to tidy up and closed out there in the sixth and complete the shutout. Only game 2 promises to be a very different proposition as the Adelaide Giants look to bounce back and wake up their slumbering lumber as it's in here. And do you think the bats will get going, Cam?
Well, they've got to get something going. 4 hits in a game against Maestri is not enough. And from the Blue Sox boys I spoke to pre-game, they're expecting Thomas Dormany to throw very similar to Maestri. So if Adelaide couldn't handle Maestri last night, they're going to have to find a way to handle Dormany tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. So contact details. And if you want to be part of the broadcast, we'd love you to get on board with us. There are several ways to contact us, of course. You can send us an SMS message via the telephone, 0412 203 068. Don't be shy. Get in there and communicate with us. We got loads of contacts last night, and we'll give you a shout-out. Tell us who you're supporting and where you're from. If you've got a favourite player, also let us know who that is. By email, you can contact the Summer of Baseball 12 at gmail.com, or better still by Twitter. Cam will give you a shout out, and the Twitter handle is at Blue Sox TV. Or you can go directly to Big Cam at Big Cam 1972. That's the year his grandparents were born. It's only a youngster.
I wish.
Okay, now without any further ado, it's time for music. And now, without any further ado, it's time to introduce the newest member of the Sports Broadcasting Australia family and the Blue Crew. And it's over to you, Cam, for the introduction.
Thank you very much, Harrow. Of course, our newest member. We plugged it a bit last night. It's a current member of Team Australia. They've represented Australia at 3 World Cups so far and show no sign of not going to a 4th one in the coming years. They're a left-handed pitcher and an outfielder who often finds themselves at first base when they want to be a little bit closer to the action. And my current coach and manager at the Belmore Rovers, a club which I'm proud to be the president of at present, and above all is the educator of our future youth. So without any further ado, we've strung it out for a couple of nights. We've promoted it for months. Please finally welcome to the microphones on the Blue Sox TV broadcast, Amy Collins.
Wow, hello. What a welcome. I feel very, very special at the moment. Thanks, guys.
It's a pleasure, Amy. Welcome aboard. It's good to have you here in the booth. Adds a little bit of balance to our broadcast team, that's for sure.
And a bit of current experience.
More importantly, a lot of knowledge,
dinosaurs.
A lot of baseball knowledge. So we look forward to your professional input during the broadcast, and
Not
I'm
a
sure
problem
all of
at all.
our viewers will totally enjoy your input as well. Good to have you on board. And so, yeah, big welcome from everybody here in the crew. And we've got Oscar and Owen in the back room there doing all the sound and pictures and audio and all of that stuff as well. So we're just going to do a quick break now. As the umpires come out, we'll introduce the umpires to you very shortly.
Not all solar installers are created equal. As one of the largest independent solar and storage companies in Australia, SolarAy has award-winning expertise to ensure you get a smooth and expertly configured installation. A solar power system can save you tens of thousands from your power bills, add value to your home, and reduce your carbon footprint. To find out if solar's right for you, visit solaray.com.au/BlueSox. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And the umpires now out in the middle with the plate meeting. Shane Barclay, Chris Adamson out there with them. The umpires tonight behind home plate calling the balls and strikes will be Ben Nash at first base with the bang bang plays. Bobby Crawford and Trent Thomas out looking after all things third base. That brings us to the lineups, and hasn't there been a little bit of conjecture about them in the last 5 minutes, with Adelaide losing one of their players in the very last moments of warm-up and having to go with a completely rejigged lineup as they head into it. So, Harrow, if you would like to do maybe the Blue Sox, the Adelaide as they come to the plate. Adelaide batting order, and then I'll do the Blue Sox defence.
Adelaide Giants batting lineup for this Game 2 of Series number 2 here from Blue Sox Stadium. It is Eric Peterson leading off and moved to shortstop. The batting order has changed by one notch. Aaron Whitefield will bat in the 2 slot. Cole Stobie will bat in 3rd. Ben Onklinski, and playing right field, is the 4 slot. He'll be cleaning up there in 4. Rickson Wingrove moves up to bat in the 5 position. Curtis Mead again is the next in order after Wingrove, followed by Logan O'Hoppy, who comes into the game tonight, and he'll be batting 7. Jordan McArdle moves from batting 9 to batting 8 from last night. He moves up 1 spot, and then cleaning up there in position 9, Matt Hutchings comes into the lineup. He's the late addition, batting in 9 after Mikey Reynolds out, and we're not sure why. We'll get clarity on that before too much longer. So the whole batting lineup moved up 1 position, and Mikey Reynolds out of the lineup, and a quick reshuffle of positions as well.
And we might get Amy to do the Blue Sox defensive lineup.
Throw me in the deep end right here. All right. We'll start with in the outfield, playing in left field, Max Brennan. In centre field, Michael Cross. In right field, Michael Campbell. At third base, we have Jacob Eunice. In shortstop, we have Gift Ngopi. Second base, Andy Burns. First base, Boss Monoroa. Behind the dish, we have Jack Murphy. And starting for the Sydney Blue Sox, Thomas Dormany.
There you go, straight into it. No problems whatsoever there. I can tell the listeners a little bit about Thomas Dormany. He hails from Florida, and he is in the Padres organisation. He was taken as a 10th round draft pick in 2014. Has wandered through double A's. That's about as high as he's got, playing in one of the Texas leagues in the double A for the Padres, and bounced around a little independent ball last year, but quality starter. And having a chat to both he and Jack Murphy before the game, he's going to throw plenty like Maestri and did last night. He's got a fastball, he's got a cutter, and he's got a change that he's going to use to keep these Adelaide hitters off balance again tonight. So Dormany to start for the Blue Sox. On the mound for the Adelaide Giants will be Gunnar Kynes. So he will start, and he is also a US player from the Florida Marlins. So he will be at home out here as well in this humidity. But now we are going to pause briefly, stand, remove our hats, and observe the Australian National Anthem. And you see the Blue Sox players out there standing proudly with their barter card baseball buddies from the St Mary's Saints and the Mount Druitt Lions this evening. Of course, barter card, it has revolutionised the way businesses do a cashless marketplace. For more information, just head to bartercard.com.au and check out all the options of the way Bartercard has changed the way small and medium-sized businesses can do business across the globe. And Bartercard are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
And of course, we're just about to bring you all of the play-by-play action here. Every pitch, every hit, everything that happens on this diamond tonight in this Game 2 of the second series of ABL 2019-2020. We're looking forward to a battle royal yet again. Adelaide won't back off and Sydney won't take their foot off the pedal. It looks to be building as a great game. There is a good crowd coming in. They're still lined up at some of the food stalls out the back there. The concession stands are wonderful. Lots of food, lots of cold drinks, and everything set up here for a great night of baseball. Of course, followed tomorrow night. We're on a 7:30 start tonight, but tomorrow night it will start an hour earlier at 6:30 p.m. So if you can't get here tonight, then certainly get here Saturday night. And on Sunday, bring the kids out for a 1 o'clock early game. Get them a hot dog for lunch. Can of something to drink, something nice and cold. Nice hot dog lunchtime on a Sunday. What a way to spend lunchtime on Sunday and the rest of the afternoon watching the Blue Sox take on Adelaide in Game 4. We're ready now, ready to get everything underway. And the lead-off batter for Adelaide comes to the plate.
Eric Peterson, the shortstop for the Adelaide Giants. He will be leading off the action facing Thomas Dormany on the mound for the Blue Sox. Dormany, of course, as I said, left-handed pitcher hailing from Florida. Looking for another good outing. Had a good outing down in Korea. Just got tapped up a little bit as he got tired, but starts things off with a called strike. Fastball at the belt buckle. Peterson not interested. Welcome aboard, no matter where you may be tuned in from. Hello to you Adelaide Giants fans. We know you're out there as this one's fouled off by Peterson straight back to the net. Quickly falls behind 0-2 to Dormany. As we said, doesn't really have a big breaking pitch. Dormany tends to go with more of a change-up and a cutter rather than a true breaking ball or a slider. But we'll see what he comes to the plate with on this occasion. That looked like it was a knuckleball of some description, but really lost control of it. That almost missed the left-handed batter's box. Way wide. But at 0-2, no damage done. They count to 1-2. Might have been an attempted change-up of some description, and he just lost the grip on it early on. Nevertheless, 1-2 pitch from Dormany. With his resplendent new Blue Sox glove on. Eric Peterson not wanting a bar of it at the moment, or maybe Dormany just not getting the signals he wants. He's happy now with the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball low inside. Count level now at a pair of twos. Hello to Nathan Brammer, Andrew McGregor, Cassie, all on Twitter already. Tuned in from the very first pitch. Great to have you guys aboard. Strap yourself in. This is going to be a good one. 2-2 pitch. It's a chopper straight towards Nagopi. He gets a friendly hop and whips it across to Boss Mo and Aroa looking after first base tonight for the Sox. And there is the first one in the books.
Hoo-wee. What a good start for Nagopi.
But a nice friendly hop on that one. And that's how you like to see them pop up, isn't it, Amy? When you get the first baseball of the game gets chopped straight towards you. You don't want any spins or anything nasty.
Absolutely. Want to make sure those safe hands get that first out of the inning.
And nothing worse than starting the game with an error, a wild throw, or a bobble or something like that. It just takes a little bit out of you. Nagopi himself is a fairly decent AAA baller. Didn't quite make it up to the majors, but has been a very good AAA baller in his time. As we now see Aaron Whitefield slotting in for the Adelaide Giants. Fouls the first pitch he sees off. Next pitch is high. Possibly a little bit inside as well.
Couldn't have missed by much. Looked like a good pitch.
Yeah, it's tough up here. You get to work the angle from up here, Amy, over time. It's a little bit of a difficult angle. And Blue Sox Stadium, especially in the ABL level, you'll find the inside corners notoriously bad for hitters. The pitchers seem to get an extra inch or two on that inside edge every night in this stadium.
As every pitcher should.
Spoken like a true pitcher. I can see we're going to have some fun over the years because me being an old catcher, you being a pitcher, for me they're all wild pitches. For you, they're all pass balls.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit more effort the catcher gets to that one. We say if you threw it in the glove, we wouldn't have had to get to it. So the count at 2-2. Whitefield, the centre fielder. He waits on Dormany. Dormany just misses upstairs. That looked okay location-wise. Just must have been high. Murphy trying to frame it down. Ben Nash having none of that behind the plate fills the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch. It is low and inside, and Whitefield will walk. So Dormany gives up the first base on balls of the evening, and only the second batter he faces.
It took us a long time to get the first walk last night, Cam, and that was very unusual, very late in the game before one of those was issued. So we've got it early tonight, sets up the stage for a good event.
But as our summer of baseball friends from years gone by will know, that the no-hitter is still in play. That's always something. As Stobie just waits as Dormany, just a little warning across the bow of Whitefield not to get it too far ahead of himself. And again, they're just making sure Whitefield doesn't take too much of a lead down there at first base.
Well, he's very wiry, Whitefield. He's got a set of wheels on him.
Oh, he has got a massive set of wheels.
Just being pinned back a little.
You see how much ground he can cover out there in centre field again to first base. Again, Amy, as a left-handed pitcher, this is just a case of letting him know that you're there and you can pick him off at will if you really want to, but at the moment you're just trying to keep him that half a yard closer.
Absolutely. Seen a little bit of a decent move there, and I think he's definitely got more in his back pocket.
Dormany to the plate this time, fouled off by Stobie. Down the third base side and out of play. And it is more of a thing of not giving away your best move until you want to pick him off, isn't it? It's just showing him that you can come across here once in a while, and then you've got your A-grade move for when you think he's half a step too far.
Absolutely. Can't give it away too early in the game.
Well, you can if you want to pick him off, but as I said, I don't think Whitefield's going anywhere at the moment. Murphy's still with a decent arm. Saying that, off he goes, and it's popped straight up in the air. It should be an easy fly ball out to right field. Michael Campbell coming around. He'll take it comfortably, but being the towering fly that it was, Whitefield plenty of time to go back to first base. Stobie down on the fly 9 for the second out here in the top of the first. That will bring to the plate for the Adelaide Giants, Ben Klinsky. Moved over to right field with that late withdrawal of the shortstop, Mikey Reynolds. So Dormany again has a good look at Whitefield, comes to the plate with the first pitch, slapped straight at Nagopi. He has options. He'll go to second base for the easy force, and that will do it. The Blue Sox will put the Adelaide Giants down here in the top of the first innings. No runs on the board. They will leave one stranded, but halfway through the first inning, it is the Adelaide Giants and the Blue Sox still tied at 0. How a good start for Dormany and the Blue Sox there?
Yeah, most certainly was, and the changes to Adelaide, I think, has upset their balance just a little bit, even early stages of this game. They're just getting a feel for where they're going to be. Their defence is just going out to get organised now, and they're having one around to chat to each other, geeing each other up, I suppose, and getting themselves organised. But that late change in any lineup, which rearranged the whole lineup effectively, and of course their defensive lineup seriously affected, I think will have an impact on them until they get that rhythm again. So it's thrown them out just a little bit, and they will get that rhythm. They'll settle down in second innings, I'm sure, and once they come back into their lineup again. And of course the coaches are adapting to that, but very quickly do it. Chris Adamson will be all over that, their manager, and he'll make sure they're settled very, very quickly to go on the attack.
Apparently I have some parenting duties to do here, Harrow. Obi Dan, who is a long-time fan of the Blue Sox and the summer of baseball, needs his son Ryan to go to bed. So Ryan, listen to Daddy. It's time to go to bed. It's past 7:30. Time to head to bed so that Daddy can have a beverage and watch the Blue Sox go around.
He wants to sit quietly and watch the game. Maybe the little one just wants to learn a little bit about the game as well. We've got some experts here. Amy's in the middle of us here, Cam. So
the rose between two thorns.
I would say so.
Not only does she lower the average age of the commentary box by about half, she ups the attractiveness from about a 3 to about an 8.
Oh, absolutely. No question
on
about
average.
that whatsoever, and that's stretching it.
Glad I could be of assistance.
I don't think we were a 3 to start with, Cam and I. 1 point each, I'd say.
So Trent D'Antonio to lead things off for the Blue Sox. Jacob Eunice in the on-deck circle. Andy Burns in the hole. And they have been a pretty formidable first three for the Blue Sox. We saw Eunice and Burns do a lot of damage last night to the Adelaide Giants pitching. That more so of the starting pitcher last night in Beggs. D'Antonio, he should mention that Trent D'Antonio, only the 5th player in ABL history to bring up 300 hits. He did that in the final game down in Korea last weekend, and that's a massive achievement in this new ABL to have been around as long as Trent has. But considering the amount of walks that Trent draws, as well as fielder's choices, laying down bunts, doing whatever the team needs him to do, to come up with 300 hits is a massive, massive feat for this young man. The count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Collins to the plate, misses. No, doesn't miss. Got to remember Ben Nash is a very deliberate umpire. He makes a nice loud call to the players first and then makes a signal for the scorers.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we've got to remember to give Ben, a second or so after the ball passes.
And that last pitch was a great location for Kynes. Down low, outside edge. There he goes again.
And he rings D'Antonio up on strikes. It was a breaking pitch that froze D'Antonio, and a nice start for Gunnar Kynes and the Adelaide Giants.
KC the call, and a good one it was also. So it's going to be tight. Gunnar Kynes rolling that arm over, starting steady, just got a nice rhythm to him. Jacob Eunice comes to the plate now. There's a bit of a mist in the air tonight as well. I think it's sort of it's not bushfire smoke, I don't believe, which has been a lot around Sydney lately. I think it's just a bit of a mist.
This one hit hard straight back up the middle. It is fumbled by Stobie. He's not going to have any play by the time he gets around onto it. Jacob Eunice will get a board. Be very interesting to see how the scorers score this. He had to go a fair way up the middle on his backhand. But it is, it's not. Don't have to.
As an error.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say you don't have to wait long. Amy, you reckon it was a fair enough error too?
I do. I think that he got there in time, could have made the play if he's had to fielded it cleanly.
And we've got to remember, 30 minutes ago, Cole Stobie was playing right field,
Correct.
not second base. So that's a little bit of adjustment, I guess, to what they were imagining they were doing. And if a lot of players will go through pre-game warm-up in their mind of what they're going to expect to see. So he wasn't expecting to see that, obviously.
Baseball is such a mental game, and it could be playing a role right now.
Yeah.
Andy Burns, the new batter for the Blue Sox. Now, last night, twice Jacob Eunice got on. Twice Shane Barclay tried something a little bit more funky than usual for the Blue Sox. He put a hit and run on that was perfectly executed by Andy Burns.
First one over the back, and it missed the roof.
In the second innings. I think it was taken in the very back row, hence the applause from the crowd. So it might have been a nice grab there in the back row.
We'll keep that one,
Just
put it
off
in the
to
pocket.
the right of us, and get it signed after the game. Go down, your favourite Blue Sox player. More than happy to sign them after the game.
Handy Andy hit it.
Oh, Eunice goes, and Hoppy just loses the handle on it behind the dish. It's going to be tough to get him anyway. He got a nice jump, did Eunice, but Hoppy couldn't come up with a handle, and so Eunice in with a stolen base.
Bit of mind game going on right here as Kynes has a long look in for his signs. Sound effects are working tonight.
Yeah,
We possibly can't hear them through our microphones. But
looks like the computer is up and running over there, which is great. Keeps the crowd entertained. A little bit of fun banter between pitches.
Gunnar Kynes right off the end of the pitching rubber there.
That one misses, must have missed low. Again, Amy being the pitcher of the three of us, the position on the rubber, just a comfort sort of thing as to where he prefers to throw from, just to get his angles right.
Yeah, absolutely, and it might change. Some pitchers are really particular about where they stand, and some like to move around depending on how they're feeling on the day. So I think with his whippy arm action, that would play a role. He likes to try and get that inside corner, and that might assist him.
This one hit hard down the left field line, but tailing into the Adelaide Giants bullpen, almost taking out Sid the Sock, who was down there, looked like harassing the Adelaide Giants relief pitchers.
Sid the Sock is well padded, especially around the head area.
I was going to say it's a big head though, isn't it? It is a big head on that mascot. Shout out to Gordon Geyer. Great to have you aboard, Gordon, as always.
Gordo, hope you're still riding that Harley Davidson around the coast, mate.
This one hit hard the other way. It's going to tail out of play the other way towards Entrance Road. So hitting the ball hard, Andy Burns just has to work it out and get it between those lines. There's a run to score out there for him to add to his vast array of RBIs that he has racked up so far this season.
Just back to Gordon Geyer. He's a good man to sit down and have a coffee with and a long chat.
Pitches inside. Eunice strikes for third, slides in under the tag and has it.
Easy.
Swipes second, swipes third. And the Blue Sox now with a runner at third. Only one out and a full count on Andy Burns.
Good at bat from Andy Burns. He's been in there for a while. He's taking some pitches out of Gunnar Kynes.
Some great aggressive base running as well.
Little excuse me swing that is going to stay on the foul side of the line as it headed down the tram tracks. Always a danger that it's going to hit the outside grass lip and come back.
As a hitter, you're hoping that to stay out.
You're praying that it stays on the outside of that line because you're dead in the box. Absolutely dead in the box. So another full count pitch ready to come to Andy Burns. What's Gunnar Kynes got? Up his sleeve. Goes fastball. Burns challenges him, and that goes into the facade and into the crowd. Got through the net. So glad that everybody was paying attention down in front of us. That almost came in the commentary box area. That was almost yours.
There's only a very small gap between the bottom of the roof and the top of the net. I don't even know how it got through. Just enough room for a baseball to sneak in there.
Apparently so.
Somebody gets another souvenir.
A little bit of venue maintenance, perhaps. That pitch low and inside, and Andy Burns will walk.
Fantastic at-bat by Andy Burns right there.
Took him deep. Not only did he take him the 5 pitches of the full count, but fouled off, 3 or 4 on top of that. So it takes about 10 pitches out of your starting pitcher straight there with that first inning at-bat.
So a walk from each pitcher in the start of this game. Top of the first, bottom of the first. Very unusual. But it was a tough one. Kynes had to try and find his way around Burns, and he just couldn't manage to do it.
Can tell you if you were going to have a look at the Melbourne game, that's slightly delayed due to rain down there. And Brisbane in front of Korea early in the game up there at Brisbane.
Hard swing and a miss there from Gift and Goppy.
Gift and Goppy promised somebody, I won't say who it was down in the dugout, but promised he would get him at least a double and a couple of RBIs on the evening. So we'll see whether Gift can live up to that. And just to make a correction, Gift did actually play in the major leagues. He was the first South African to ever feature in the major leagues. And thanks to Big Matt Cavill for correcting me on that one. Another one up into the facade of the grandstand. And Goppy falls behind 0-2.
Certainly got the build to do a good job here. Born in Petersburg, South Africa, just to clarify that.
Over to first base to keep Andy Burns close. Don't know that Andy Burns is going to be the man that's going to steal second base.
Yeah, he was pretty happy to head on back to first base there without too much of an issue.
Not the biggest lead you've ever seen there at first base. But with a runner on third and 1 out, you just don't want to kill it at first base. As the pitch goes into the dirt in front of O'Hoppy. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out is the is the count we have at the plate. We have runners in first and third. Jacob Eunice is at third base. Andy Burns at first base. The Blue Sox threatening early after shutting down the Adelaide Giants in the top part of the inning. 1-2 pitch. Burns is on his bike. It's a little bleeder into left field. It's dying quickly. Diving forward. Hutchins. He will make the grab. It's a great grab. He's a long throw to first base. Just drags Wingrove off the bag. But a great catch out there from the replacement. Hutchins in at late notice. Certainly stopped Andy Burns heading around to third and being a threat. Eunice will score. He will tag up on what will be a sac fly in the end. And Burns, after rounding second and heading to third, had to go a long way back and gets back there to stand at first base.
Well, a good run, though, from the Sydney Blue Sox. We get the run, they get in front, and that was good coaching there from third base coach Brian Murphy, holding him up, making sure that ball got into the glove before he was able to let him go. But, of course, Eunice just trottled down the line as quick as you can. And then they had to try and get Burns out at first, but that was not going to happen.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't a bad throw, though, from having to pop up on your feet after laying out to make the catch in shallow left, to then just bounce to your feet and hoik it across, all of, what would it be, 180, 200 feet probably.
Yep.
The best part of 200 feet to try and get it to first base for a double play. If the throw was on the money, it was going to be tight.
And
Definitely
here's the first, Amy, the first baseman now, Boss Moana Roa at the plate, big left-handed, very strong.
Boss already with a home run this season. Launched one out of Geelong last weekend, and it's towering fly ball into foul territory behind first base. It's going to get out into the family picnic table area. Out of play, and the kids that are down there will all swarm around and try and get themselves a souvenir.
He's not happy with himself that he mishit it. He was almost on it.
He knows his pitch is the inside fastball, and that's what he got. They're the ones he likes to launch all of 350, 400 feet over the right field wall. The Canberra Cavalry faithful, if any of those are watching, they've seen him hit many of those since he went down to Canberra, and the Blue Sox in his early days here at the Blue Sox often used to see him launch them through the flagpoles out there in right field. However, he takes a breaking pitch from Kynes, and the count now to 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out, and Andy Burns standing at first base. The Blue Sox have played at a run in Jacob Eunice and lead it 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Kynes across to first base. I think Andy Burns had the green light once on that hit and run. I don't know if he'll get the green light again with Moana Roa in the batter's box. The pitch to Moana Roa misses upstairs. And the count now full. At 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out. So he certainly will be running on this pitch, Andy Burns. And catcher Logan O'Hoppy just making sure his infield is aware of that.
That's a good lead
again,
there.
They're playing a very strange shift on Boss Moana Roa, which I'll describe next time Boss comes up. Burns runs, broken batter. It's a comeback straight to the mound, and it's a good thing it went to the mound because there was nobody anywhere behind the pitcher if that had have snuck through. Moana Roa out on the 1-3. That will end the innings here in the bottom of the first, but not before the Blue Sox do plate a run. Jacob Eunice comes home on a couple of stolen bases and a Gift Nagopi sac fly. And after 1 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium, it is the Blue Sox leading the Adelaide Giants 1-0.
Not all solar installers are created equal. As one of the largest independent solar and storage companies in Australia, SolarAy has award-winning expertise to ensure you get a smooth and expertly configured installation. A solar power system can save you tens of thousands from your power bills, add value to your home, and reduce your carbon footprint. To find out if solar's right for you, visit solaray.com.au/BlueSox. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And welcome back here to Blue Sox Stadium as the defensive lineup for the Sydney Blue Sox take the field. We'll head to the top of the second inning here, and the Adelaide Giants will lead off through Rickson Wingrove, and that will be interesting. The big first baseman there moved up that slot, as we said, into the 5 position. So Wingrove gets the lead-off responsibilities here for the Giants, top of the second inning. And a good first inning there, a good battle between both of these clubs. And game 2 of this series, of course, we're looking forward to the whole weekend. Sydney leading the series by 1 game after taking out game 1 by 5 runs to 0 last night. And now Wingrove comes to the plate. Left-hander, Rickson Wingrove. And first baseman steps in there now. And he'll face his first pitch from Thomas Dormany.
And takes it for a ball. Rickson having a good weekend last weekend. Came up with a home run. And when Adelaide needed it most, a walk-off base hit. Dormany misses well inside on that one. We were talking about positions on the pitching rubber before. Korean legend and Blue Sox pitcher Dae Sung Koo always preferred to be on the other end of the rubber with just his heel touching, because he had a big around-the-body delivery, and he had such an angle as this one's popped up out into left field. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for Brennan, although it is hazy out there, which is going to make it a bit more difficult to pick up the baseball. But Brennan with no problems on that pop fly to left field. Makes the catch, retires Wingrove.
Maxie Brennan will be glad that he's been involved in the game so far. Outfielders very often have to wait to be in the defensive plays, and a lot of infield plays. But
well, he was a late change last night himself. Yep. He was listed to go out into left field, and there was a late change of Alex Howe heading out there to take his place.
Correct. That was a well high hit ball. Also tracked it down magnificently.
Curtis Mead, the third baseman for the Giants, heads to the box. Takes a called strike to start things off from Dormany. The Blue Sox expecting big things of Thomas Dormany this season. That one hit hard down the third base line, just foul. 0-2 now for Mead. Mead last night was 2 of 3. One of the few Adelaide hitters to actually get anything going at all last night. He had base hits both to right and left field. Both of those were off Alessandro Maestri, but having no luck with Dormany as that cutter comes inside on him. He just swings through it. Down he goes on strike.
There it is again, Cam.
Oh, I could stop Winks at her best.
Curse of the commentator.
$5 each way on Winks, and you watch her run fourth.
It's working well for the Blue Sox. Love it. Just keep giving them a rap.
Logan O'Hoppy, the catcher, to the plate for his first plate appearance of the evening. Facing Dormany, who is looking like he's pitching fairly well, keeping the ball down in the zone for the best part and working over the inside corner of the right-handed hitters. Finds the inside edge on this occasion. The count to 1 ball and 1 strike.
2 up, 2 down for the Giants.
That's a swing for mine. Yes, it is. Down on, oh no, sorry, it's 1-2 now, isn't it? It was 1-1, yes. I'm going to say down on strikes. He goes on that excuse me swing, but he doesn't. Gets a second chance. Logan O'Hoppy. Dormany and Murphy working out what they want. Looks like that cutter inside again. No goes fastball inside. It's grounded up the third base line. It will be playable for Eunice. A long throw. I don't think it's in time. It's not. He took his time. Jacob Eunice allowed the ball to come to him. He just allowed that roller up the line to come to him. And he does have a good arm, but it's not a super strong arm. And it was able to be beaten out by Logan O'Hoppy up the line. So maybe a little bit of a mental error there, Amy, from Jacob Eunice not coming in and attacking it a little bit more.
Look, it's a hard play down the line there. I think that maybe the speed of the ball kind of deceived him a little bit. Maybe he was travelling a little bit slower than he anticipated.
Yeah, I agree. And I think initially, halfway down the line, it looked like it would roll foul.
Also got to be careful of the base too. He was probably making sure it didn't carome off the base and go somewhere funny for maybe extra bases. But it is what it is. It's a base hit for the Adelaide Giants, one that they desperately needed to get something going. Logan O'Hoppy stands aboard first base with a base hit to third base. So an infield hit with 2 out for the Giants. That brings Jordan McArdle. He's a well put together unit too, batting left-handed, a lefty-lefty matchup which Dormany would surely like. 1 ball and 1 strike now on McArdle.
Both starting pitchers you would expect to go deep into the game, Amy. 5-6 innings maybe.
Oh, look, you would hope so. It's what you're after from your starting pitchers. Both pitchers are are looking pretty settled at the moment, working themselves into good counts.
So Dormany now gets himself where he wants to be. He's ahead of the hitter. He's got the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Must go to the outside corner, does he? No, he goes over to first base, not giving anything away. What do you think here? If I was calling, I'd be calling something probably low and outside. 1 and 2, try to stay just off the plate a little bit.
Absolutely. You don't want a whole ball on the plate on this pitch.
Does stay away, stays low. Murphy holds it for a second or two, giving umpire Nash the best look, but it missed low. 2 and 2.
Dominic liked that one. He was heading off to the...
Yeah, he thought, and
as
I said, Murphy held it forever, giving Nash the chance to try and see where it was, but Ben Nash had made his mind up when it crossed the plate that it wasn't a strike, and very difficult to change umpires' minds. And now he has to come with a 2-2 pitch. It should be just about the same pitch. Fastball, though, challenges McArdle and strikes him out. I don't know that that was exactly where he wanted to locate it, but it had enough velocity on it that it got past McArdle for the strikeout. And so the Adelaide Giants will leave one stranded as we are completed through 1.5 innings here at Blue Sox Stadium. And the Blue Sox off to a handy start. Thomas Dormany looking all right on the mound, Amy, to start things off for the Sox.
Yeah, I think he is. He looks really relaxed, really getting some good locations. He missed that pitch early in the game, but seems to have got that change-up working kind of where he wants it now. So I think that's a good speed variance and should do him well later in the game.
Beautiful. And Harrow, just so you know, Gordon Guy has fired back and said, yes, all things are good, but he rides a BMW, not a Harley.
Oh,
he's got the big BMW, not the big Harley.
I knew it was a big bike, and it was a good one.
And a shout out to Deeksy, Scott Deeks. He's joined in watching at work. So a productive night at work for you, Scott, as some would say as is normal, but enjoy the coverage, and the Marlin boys will do you proud as they always do. So again, if you do want to contact us, feel free to send us a Twitter or a tweet. Of course, the handle is at Blue Sox TV. You can also send us an SMS if you like. The number is 0412 203 068. 0412 203 068. We'd love to hear from you, and we love to have you guys as part of the broadcast, because that's what it's about. That's why we do it, so that you guys have got something to watch, something to interact with. And any questions, anything you may have, please feel free to ask away, and we will do our best to find an answer for you.
And the action you can see on the infield down in front of the Adelaide Giants dugout is Funky Phil out there doing a great job, entertaining the crowd, gets the kids involved, gets the spectators involved, and they have lots of fun. And he did a great job last year. He's doing an even better job this year. He gets into his rhythm really early. He's here for a couple of hours before game time, getting himself set up as well. He has more fun than the kids, I think.
Oh, I know he does. I know he has more fun than the kids.
Funky Phil Ardill.
So heading to the bottom of the second innings, Michael Krause in the batter's box for the Sydney Blue Sox. Shows running bunt. He was almost out of the batter's box by the time he hit that one. It's not going to make any difference because it's a comeback into the mound, and Gunnar Keens will throw him out at first base. But gee, he was a long way out, almost out of the box by the time he hit that one. So something for the umpires to keep an eye on should Michael Krause decide to try that again in the future.
Yeah, look, he just missed the angle on that running bunt. It definitely took him by surprise, but just unfortunately straight back to the pitcher.
Not a bad tactic once in a while. But,
we'll go to Michael Campbell now at the plate, stepping in.
Yeah, Michael's after one another, and as we said tonight, Max Brennan will be the honorary Michael out there in left field, so we can have an all Michael outfield for the Sydney Blue Sox. As Michael Campbell takes the first pitch for a ball. Kynes with his breaking pitch. Nice pitch that in there for a called strike. Hasn't shown us a lot of that breaking pitch this first time through the lineup. But you can guarantee once he gets back to the top, it'll be weaved in a little bit more. He gets that one to come down onto the top of the strike zone as well. So 2 in a row now, Kynes finds himself in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Michael Campbell. 1-2 pitch on its way. It's up and in. A little bit of chin music. Get out of the batter's box. Get away from that inside edge of the plate. It's mine. How do you come back with the breaking pitch on the outside corner because he's gotten away from the plate? That looks like he wants it inside. He does want it inside, but he misses upstairs. Fills the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Interesting there from Logan O'Hoppy, who signalled where he wanted it and then went and sat on the outside edge of the plate. I'll keep an eye on how O'Hoppy does signal his pitches. He's going to the outside edge again here now. Full count pitch on its way. Swing and a miss from Michael Campbell. Down on strikes, he will go. Second out here in the second. That will bring the ever popular mullet to the plate. The mullet and the mo that is Murphy. Mr. Murphy to the fans here, and an absolute perennial favourite of all ABL fans right around the league is Jack Murphy. A wonderful man, has plenty of time for all the fans, no matter where they are from, no matter where the Blue Sox may be travelling to at the moment. And the same thing for Canberra when he was at the Cavalry. Takes the first pitch for a called strike.
We mention every time with Murphy that he is a clubhouse leader in there. Lots of experience, keeps everybody's mind on the job, but also brings a bit of character, let's say, to the dugout.
So Murphy quickly behind 0-2. And Kynes will be hoping to get out of this innings very quickly with a 3-up, 3-down inning. After giving up a run in the bottom of the first. Murphy digs in now. Nope, not happy. Steps away. Last night we saw the same thing from Jack Murphy with a full count. Stepped out, asked for time. It wasn't granted. The pitcher threw the pitch and Murphy had to jump back into the box, swing, and line drived it into centre field for a base hit.
Wow, that's some serious skill.
Yeah, watch the replay. I can tell you now, very unusual. But
not on this occasion, however, as Kynes has his number. He rings him up. Murphy goes down swinging, and that will be it. Blue Sox retired in order. A nice inning that for Gunnar Kynes and the Adelaide Giants. And we're through 2 completed innings here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where it is the Blue Sox leading the Giants 1-0. In 1928, Middendorp Electrical Goods and Supply Company was born of humble beginnings in Melbourne, selling light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical supplies. Now 90 years later, Middendorp has evolved into Middy's Data and Electrical, and while still being the same family-owned and operated business, has grown into one of the largest data and electrical companies in Australia. In an ever-changing landscape, Middies pride themselves on their service to their loyal customers and tradesmen, their pricing, their variety and their continual evolution in the data and electrical industry. Middies Data and Electrical, offering you more. Middies are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
Yeah, Cam, I was saying earlier, before we started the broadcast this evening, that the big thing about Middies was they're fairly quietly there operating a very successful business. They've changed their marketing a little bit. In the last few years, their marketing's come up. Their branding looks great. Those
you'll see the bright pink, the bright pink trucks out and about. All the stores are bright pink. You can't miss the stores when you're driving past them. You see a bright pink store, you know that's a Middies shop.
And they're out there sponsoring sports, out there in the face of sports,
giving back to the communities. Yeah, giving back to the communities at all levels, which is what you really need and want in a sponsor.
Great livery on the Supercars series. We see a lot of their support there, and certainly got all that sport involvement. And now with baseball, they're right up there behind it, and they're getting out there amongst the sporting community, but particularly the ABL and baseball, and in particular the Sydney Blue Sox. Matt Hutchings strides to the plate now, batting in the 9 slot. And playing left field, of course, the late call up into the line-up here. And going in there to replace Mikey Reynolds when he got replaced. So the line-up change, Hutchings gets his first appearance. Dormany rolls one in for a strike. Rolled that over nice and easily. Nothing too fancy from Dormany on the first pitch. It gives Matt Hutchings a chance to get a bit of a sighting over the plate. And he gets back to ball with the second pitch now. Ground ball to Andy Burns at second base and brings up the out as he gets that ball across to Boss Moanaroa. So nice regulation ground ball out. 4-3 play there on Matt Hutchings. And 1 up, 1 down. The Adelaide Giants, top of the third inning.
The Giants have got to stay patient here, Harrow. We saw last night they gave LA Maestri a couple of very cheap innings. They've got to stay patient and disciplined in that batting box. That was the second pitch that he went after there, which is all well and good, but they've got to make sure they don't give Dormany too many cheap innings and too many cheap outs.
Yeah, the shortstop, Eric Peterson, he was originally across at third base, moved across to shortstop, and that a late change, so from third to shortstop for Peterson.
And I might take the opportunity. I might go down and see whether I can get a word with Chris Adamson quickly to make sure Mikey Reynolds is okay, as this one's popped up into right field. Andy Burns going back from second base to make the catch.
Good deep play for the second baseman there. Good coverage.
So I'll duck down and see whether I can get a report on whether Mikey Reynolds is okay.
Thanks,
and
Cam.
whether or not he's due to play again this weekend for all those Adelaide fans that might be worried about what happened to Mikey Reynolds this afternoon.
Yep, absolutely. We'll get an update on that one. And it'll be Aaron Whitefield stepping up to the plate now, the centre fielder. And that's his original position, but moved up one slot in the batting lineup. So Whitefield in there now. The number 2 on his jersey. Good to pick up there. You can see that wide shot we've got across the diamond. And corner to corner. Almost foul pole to foul pole, that shot. Excellent shot there. Whitefield just awaiting the next pitch from Dormany.
Whitefield got a walk in the first inning. There's a bit of a threat on the base paths.
And drew the walk, and Whitefield becomes the third out at the same time, Amy, as you make that call. And he's still standing there adjusting his gloves. And gone and all over Red Rover for the Adelaide Giants in the top of the third innings here. 3 up, 3 down as we go to this break halfway through the third inning.
Not all solar installers are created equal. As one of the largest independent solar and storage companies in Australia, SolarAy has award-winning expertise to ensure you get a smooth and expertly configured installation. A solar power system can save you tens of thousands from your power bills, add value to your home, and reduce your carbon footprint. To find out if solar's right for you, visit solaray.com.au/BlueSox. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And welcome back to the action here at Blue Sox Stadium, where you're listening to the Blue Crew, broadcasting from the Skybox right up the back of the grandstand. We've got one of the best locations in baseball broadcasting that you could ever ask for. Of course, we'll be going to the bottom of the third inning now, and we get to the number 9 batter in the lineup for the Sydney Blue Sox. And he'll be making his first appearance for the series. Max Brennan will be coming up now, stepping in for his first plate appearance of the night here. Bottom of 3, Sydney Blue Sox leading the Adelaide Giants 1-0. No changes. Thomas Dormany. Sorry, that's not correct, is it?
No, it's Gunnar
Kynes on the mound.
Turn your page over, Harrow. Turn your page over.
I shouldn't have done that. High-risk baseball here from the broadcast booth.
Just having a quick trip down to the Adelaide dugout. Having a quick chat to Chris Adamson between those digs there. As Harry just called this one through, and I'll get back to that story in a moment.
Yep. Kynes throws first pitch to Brennan. Gets a called strike on that one. Bottom half of the zone.
Mikey Reynolds had not been feeling well all day.
Okay. And they waited till late.
They allowed him to go through the complete warm-up to see how he was feeling when he got to the end of the warm-up. And just with the heat that's been out here in the west of Sydney today, he wasn't feeling 100%. And so they decided to rest him from today's game.
1-1 pitch popped up by Brennan. Second baseman getting right across to that. Wow, great wheels from Cole Stobie. Called that ball all the way from second base position, charged across behind first, and he was nearly shaking hands with Rickson Wingrove, but it was his ball. It was good to see a second baseman with coverage like that. Called everybody else off and took a high fly ball from Max Brennan. So a fly ball position 4, even though it was right down the first base line.
And just so, again, for all you Adelaide fans, if you were worried about what's wrong with Mikey Reynolds and why he was a late withdrawal, it is just he wasn't feeling well. He is under the weather a little bit at the moment. He is expected to be on deck tomorrow, though.
Trent D'Antonio lifts one up over a deep playing shortstop in the form of Eric Peterson. So Peterson gets a fly ball there in position 6 as well. Back-to-back fly balls. And both the pivots getting involved in those for 2 up, 2 down on the Sydney Blue Sox here.
And all of a sudden, Gunnar Kynes with a chance at a really economical inning.
Absolutely. Bottom of the 3rd innings with 2 out, brings to the plate Jacob Eunice, 3rd baseman for the Sox. Kynes looking very casual out there, just wiping a bit of perspiration off his brow.
Still a warm evening here in Sydney, that I can assure you, having just been down to the field.
Floats one outside and high.
There's a little bit of breeze up here in the commentary box from a very tiny fan that's been brought in.
Well, there's lots of fans in front of me, Cam.
I'll get them to turn
just
around.
Sitting under the window.
Get them to turn around and get some breeze coming up here.
I've got some. There's no glass in front of me. Oh, splits the gap, does Eunice. Rips it out to left field. Hard hit ball to Matt Hutchings on the ground.
How good is Jacob Eunice batting at the moment?
Just cleaning up there. What a good job. Line drive, well, ground ball if you like, line drive, whatever you want. That just hit the ground, stayed on the ground. Nobody was ever going to get to it.
He's on fire at the moment, Jacob Eunice. Couple of hits last night.
So we'll just call it a single to 7 by Eunice.
Batting average of 381 coming into the game, so add another hit onto that. So that probably puts it up around about the 400 mark. I know it's early in the season, but that's still very handy. That one's up here, Harrow. Oh,
your ball, straight over the top of the roof. It actually stuck to the roof and came back down again. What's going on there? How does that work?
Obviously hit the top of the roof and went up. It was actually, that one was corralled by Blue Sox owner Adam Dobb, who was just down there in the dugout seats behind home plate.
He's just saving the economy.
He's just been down there and he's just casually getting around with the fans and having a chat and shaking some hands and kissing some babies, politician style.
What colour jacket has he got on tonight?
He's got a grey jacket on tonight.
Last night was pink.
It was indeed.
Nice shade of pink too, I must say, Adam. Well done.
Maybe you can ask him where he bought it. Christmas is coming up.
We've got to get Carolina Blue Sox jackets. That's what we need.
It is a lovely colour.
So Eunice at first, Andy Burns at the plate. Can he move him around? Can he keep this inning alive with 2 out here in the bottom of the 3rd for the Blue Sox? Oh, tell a man he can. It's high fly ball. Whitefield settling under it though. No effort whatsoever from Aaron Whitefield in centre field. And that brings up the 3rd out. Shuts down the attack from the Sydney Blue Sox. Fly ball, position 8. Andy Burns becomes the 3rd out and turns us around. So 3 innings completed here at Blue Sox Stadium, and the Blues lead 1-0 over the Giants.
Not all solar installers are created equal. As one of the largest independent solar and storage companies in Australia, Solaray has award-winning expertise to ensure you get a smooth and expertly configured installation. A solar power system can save you tens of thousands from your power bills, add value to your home, and reduce your carbon footprint. To find out if solar's right for you, visit solaray.com.au/BlueSox. Solaray Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And welcome back to the action here at Blue Sox Stadium, where you're listening to the Blue Crew. Big Cam, Amy and Harrow. Bringing you all the action here. We head to the top of the 4th inning. And Blue Sox, no changes. Thomas Dormany remains on the mound and, I must say, doing a fantastic job at the moment. No reason for him to move. Only been 3 innings so far. And Adelaide Giants will come to the plate with Cole Stobie. Cole Stobie, of course, is the 2nd baseman now.
He's only given up the 1 hit, Harrow, so there's no need for him to panic just yet.
No, I think he's quite settled up there, quite comfortable.
We know that the no-hitter's gone, and Thomas probably blames Jacob Eunice for that, but...
So he's been through his warm-up routine.
Just doing a bit of a diamond drag there at the end of the 3rd inning.
Bit of tidying up.
So just waiting for the the ground crew, to finish raking around third base there, and then
Did Jacob request that, did he? Jacob Eunice?
No, probably not.
Clean up my work area for me, boys. Good job by the volunteers out there down the third base side.
Of which, the Blue Sox would be lost without their sea of volunteers. So, again, a massive thank you to all the volunteers that come out here.
Ground ball splits the line across the defensive line between third and shortstop. Nobody can get to that. Hard hit ball out there on the ground to Max Brennan. A single to position 7 for Stobie. Starts things off for the Giants. Single to 7. 1 on and ban on Klinsky. Klinsky wearing number 20 on his back, looking down the line hard for those signs from the third base coach. Got his warm-up jacket on as well. I didn't think it was cool out there at all. Dormany misses with the first one for a ball. And Klinsky ready at the batter's plate now. Gets a strike, nicely located fastball from Thomas Dormany. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Dormany just trying to build some attack there on the Adelaide Giants. Ground ball, regulation ground ball across to Ngopi at shortstop. And they turn the double play there through first base. And that was a 6-4-3, a double play. That's what Sydney Blue Sox are looking for. They get Stobie attacking second and Klinsky out there at first base as well. So good double play there, and the numbers were, Cam, I called them 6-4-3.
6-4-3, pretty regulation double play, and especially when you get a nice hard hit ball straight to your shortstop. Everybody should be moving into position, and most did the Blue Sox to pick up 2 and to hopefully then now go 1-2-3 in this inning and stretch Dormany out maybe a little bit further in even.
And Gopi, Burns and Moanaro are in that play. 2 out now. Rickson Wingrove, the big lefty, steps in there for the Giants. Takes the first pitch for a ball. So crowd, a few rumblings in the crowd. They're making nice comfortable noise as they're settling into this game with their concession stand refreshments in front of them. Check swing, called strike through the zone for Wingrove.
I don't think it mattered, Harrow. I think it was a called strike and a missed swing anyhow.
Absolutely, yep.
Take 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
He certainly didn't look too comfortable on that pitch.
Again, no intention of going after that one either. Another good pitch from Dormany.
Squares the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rickson Wingrove. 2 out, top of the 4th inning for the Giants.
Oh,
A little bit of a bouncer.
yeah, the old 55-foot curveball.
He hasn't shown that one yet, so
No, I was
just making sure the hitter knows it's there.
Just something different for the hitters to look at.
Changing the eye height, it's very important.
Trying to mix his brain up
That's it.
just a little.
Just not happy with the signals that Murphy put down, so steps off the back. I would imagine if I was calling this would be a fastball up and in on Wingrove because he will go after it.
We'll soon find out with a full count pitch. And he does mix him up, gets him swinging, and Wingrove goes down on strikes. Big K2, and that is 3 up, 3 down for the Adelaide Giants through the top of the 4th innings.
Looks like Funky Phil's about to have some fun on the field, Harrow. It looks like it's tug of war time down there on that first base line. Look at all the St Mary Saints and the Mount Druitt Lions, the Bartercard baseball buddies for the evening. They're down there. There's a swarm of them. The ropes come out. You wouldn't want to tug Funky Phil. You'd pull him over in a heartbeat. A decent breeze would blow Funky Phil over.
I saw him warming up. Not a lot of weight behind Phil.
But the kids are there, and they're about to, a couple of the big bulky coaches or fathers. It looks like they're going to have to tug along. So that might be more of a contest. But we are done through 3.5 innings here, and Both pitchers looking pretty good at the moment. Dormany been very good for the Blue Sox, and Kynes only giving up that one run.
I can't see anything, Cam, from this corner of the booth. I'll leave it up to you and Amy.
Oh, it was the Mount Druitt Lions in the blue. Looks like they might have picked up the win. You see all the kids there and the couple of coaches. But, of course, there are only winners here at Blue Sox Stadium. Every one of those kids will go away with a little bit of a merchandise pack with some souvenirs in it that they can bring down at the end of the game and get their favourite Blue Sox player to sign it. Not only that, a few of the Blue Sox players down at the end of the dugout where the kids have got to sort of run through to get in and out, giving them high fives and just letting them know that they're appreciated, their fandom is appreciated out here at the ground. Always fun to see the kids get out on the diamond and play a few games in between innings, especially when there's 15 or 20 kids involved in a game.
Add some atmosphere to the crowd when you can see all of their uniforms and such.
It's great. Yeah, it's great when you see all those junior uniforms in swarms coming out to games. And they said last night it was the Quakers Hill Pirates and the Scorpions. Just escapes my brain where they were from, but they were in the green and yellow. The Pirates in their red, black, and white. They were resplendent. And if you get a chance to have a look online, have a look at the running of the bases, which occurs after the end of the game. Funky Phil leads them around and tries to beat them around the bases. Have a look at what happened to Funky Phil last night as he was hit by a sniper about halfway between third and home. He was taken out with the best soccer sliding tackle you've ever seen in your life, and down he went. It's hilarious if you get a chance to have a look at it online.
Well, a couple of them did clean him up big time. Sox lead off here, bottom of the fourth, with a Gift and Goppy.
I know the Quakers Hill Pirates actually posted it on their site somewhere about one of their players taking out Funky Phil, so you can find it. It'll be there on the internet. Everything's there on the internet if you look hard enough.
It's a lot of fun. When the kids come out to baseball, it's always fun. Friday night, no school tomorrow.
Woohoo!
Let them loose.
Especially says Amy.
Let them loose. Feed them with soft
in the
drink. Anything with sugar in it, rev them up a bit. They won't sleep all night. And Goppy now, 2 balls, 1 strike out of the pitching of Gunnar Kynes. Gift has been a real find for the Blue Sox last couple of seasons. Time called for the umpire, I believe. Loose ball there at the back somewhere. So Ben Nash behind the plate. Calls play now. Kynes looks over his mitt. And check swing there. Called strike on the swing by umpire Nash. Sven Goppy's got the count squared up. 2 balls, 2 strikes now from Kynes. High out of the zone. Gift raising his elbows up high just to emphasise the fact that that's way high up. I don't want anything to do with this one. Another character in the Bulldogs clubhouse, in the Blue Sox clubhouse. Where did that come from?
Put your dollar in the tin.
If
If I'm going to get it for calling them the bite, which I haven't done tonight so far, as Gift goes down on strikes, you're going to put it in for calling Sydney the Bulldogs. Hello.
I'll have to call time out soon.
A 2 inning might be enough for you.
It is a warm night for me, Cam.
Keep your blood sugar levels up.
Yeah, I think that could be an issue. So 1 out for the Sox.
Close games all around the ABL so far tonight. I'll keep you updated with them shortly.
Let's see if Boss Mo and Aroa can get something going. Big swing out of the Boss.
It's always been Boss's problem is hitting the left-handed curving pitches. He's a big, tall, strong left-handed pitcher, and that lefty-on-lefty matchup just gives him a little bit of trouble.
And Kynes comes in with the next one. Leaves one up high that time. Just trying to tempt Boss to take a little bit of a hack.
But to Boss's credit, his patience and his discipline in the box have improved out of sight in the last couple of years, especially down at Canberra.
Yep.
He has waited to get a pitch that he can hit, and when he has, he really has hit it hard.
Kyne's arm action has changed this inning. He's really slowed it down for the breaking balls as opposed to the fast balls. I wonder if the hitters are picking up on that as well.
They'll need to. And there it is, the called strike. Fills the countdown. The count does Gunnar Kynes. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Moanaroa.
Oh, broken batter. Look out in the crowd. Look out.
6-3 regulation play. That broken bat took the pace off the ball. Easy fielding for Eric Peterson. Peterson across to Wingrove to get that 6-3 ground ball out on Boss Moanaroa.
The barrel of that bat ended up on the family hill, Harrow. That got over the netting that's down there now to protect for the foul balls and got up onto the hill. That's highly dangerous. Good thing that they're all sitting down there watching. Everybody is pointed towards home plate down there. They all saw it coming, thankfully, and they all took evasive action.
Well, we saw one yesterday go way out past the dollar right onto the cut grass.
Halfway out to left field. It was well out to left field. That one absolutely went up onto the family hill here at Blue Sox Stadium. So good thing everyone was paying attention. No damage done by that broken batter.
2 out for the Sox, bottom of the 4th innings here. Michael Krause at the plate gets a called strike. Outside edge, nicely located pitch from Kynes. Krause leaves that one alone. Down low, out of the zone and outside. He's out on a comeback to the pitcher in his first appearance. Was Kynes to Wingrove on that out.
It was the old running bunt he tried.
That's the one.
In his first at bat. Caught everybody on the back foot, but he bunted it straight back to the mound, which never helps.
Takes a long time peering over the edge of that glove. High out of the zone that time, I believe, on Krause. So 3-1. The hitter's count comes up now. Of course, Kynes are going to be looking to get that strike back and square it up a little. Krause should be ready for it. He wasn't. He was ready for the swing, got the swing and a miss.
Good pitch from Kynes, though. Took all the pace off it. Came with change-up rather than fastball. The 3-1 hitter's count. You knew Krause was going to line up and try and have a big hack at it.
I call it the floater. He goes outside and misses the zone. Krause waits patiently and gets the walk. Base on balls. Blue Sox get a runner on base again here. Bottom of the 4th inning with 2 out. Is it too little too late? They do lead the game by 1-0 though. They have the advantage.
2 out walks don't tend to hurt you as much as lead-off walks do. But that being the case, you are throwing now to the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Campbell, Murphy and Brennan, if the Blue Sox go that far. So probably not going to do as much damage as maybe walking D'Antonio at the top of the order.
Michael Campbell may be able to keep it alive. Runner goes. Slides in, down low. Loose ball there. The throw over from O'Hoppy was too late anyway, and there's no doubt Krause was there easily.
Manager visit.
Okay, we've got Michael Krause standing safely at second base now. Reason for the manager visit. And Campbell still in the box after 1 ball, no strikes on him. So a good count for Michael Campbell.
Take this opportunity, Harrow, to quickly go around the grounds here in the ABL. And it is a Tuatara off to an early start against the Aces down there in Melbourne. They lead 2-0. That is in the 3rd inning. Up north at Holloway Park, it is the Bandits hanging on to a 1-run lead at the moment. They put up 3 in the first, but Korea edging back into that one. 3-2 that one into the 5th. And, of course, the 4th game of the evening is over there in the Golden West. And over there at the moment, it is still only about 5:30, so probably another couple of hours before that one gets underway.
I've got to say, I was having a discussion this morning with Paul McCulloch, the man playing the music in the sound box at the moment tonight, and Holloway Field is a good place. You get some good video shots from centre field on that. They've got that classic brick wall effect behind home
Quite
plate.
a few people have actually mentioned that. A couple of the boys I commentate rugby league with were watching last night and commented on actually the Brisbane, when they flicked over to the Brisbane game, how pretty the brick wall behind home plate looked.
Campbell in there again, patiently in the left-handed batter's box. 2 balls, no strikes. Leaves that one alone for 3rd ball, 3-0. The count now from Gunnar Kynes on the mound. Lefty on lefty again. .30 pitch. Misses inside, and Campbell 4 straight balls and walks. Michael Campbell. Back-to-back walks there for Kynes. Adelaide will leave him out there. Runners at first and second, 2 out. Jack Murphy at the plate in the 8 slot.
Nobody up throwing at the moment for the Giants, but they are starting to get a couple of pitches loose.
Just doing some stretching up there, Cam.
Yeah, a little bit of running and a little bit of stretching up there in the bullpen.
A catcher heading up there also, so very likely to be some action happening soon.
Yeah, they need to do something. It's only the 4th inning, though. Stolen base, easily done there. Michael Krause gets a good jump. Nobody ready for him.
Almost uncontested, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was uncontested at all. I don't think they expected it. Runners on the corners for the Blue Sox. Jack Murphy at the plate. And he just settles the gloves down, has a little bit of a stretch, Murphy. Ice cool customer, Murph. Pitch comes in now. Murphy puts bat to ball, pops a fly up over second baseman. Going out there is Cole Stobie. Lots of coverage again, and he gets that high fly ball on the 3rd out. Running over towards the first base side, but Cole Stobie takes that fly ball off the bat of Jack Murphy. The 3rd out, fly ball to position 4. And that shuts down the attack of the Sydney Blue Sox once again here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So 4 innings complete. It's the Blue Sox leading the Adelaide Giants 1 run to 0.
Design Choice brings every space to life with a design solution that is conceptually beautiful, practical, cost-effective and durable for even the toughest commercial environments. Working with clients and the furniture industry for over 20 years, you can rely on their knowledge and high-quality items. The Design Choice team know that selecting the right piece of furniture may be the difference between just becoming another restaurant and becoming the new destination hotspot. To see some of their creative designs, head to designchoice.net.au. Design Choice are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox. You can do that call out there, Amy, if you like. We probably should put it in context after you do it.
I've just seen that my soon-to-be husband in
there
2
you
weeks
go.
is watching the game at home. So shout out to Michael and people at home watching.
There we go. Yes, we will be missing Amy for a series or 2 during the Christmas and New Year break, as her and her fiancé Michael do get married and go off on a very brief honeymoon while they get the opportunity in the school holidays to do so.
Absolutely.
So congratulations to you and Michael.
That's all about priorities, though, isn't it?
That's it, absolutely.
Unfortunately, that was all booked in before I could get to it, a contractor to this job, Harrow. So we have to go with prior commitments, unfortunately. But as I said, she'll certainly be back for the Canberra series here in the Australia Day sort of gap there after Australia Day, and that may be a very pivotal series, as often the Canberra and Sydney series are.
That back end of the season.
The very last series of the season, for Canberra to come up here, it could well be all on the line for both teams. It's going to be a fantastic season. Heading up now for the Adelaide Giants will be Curtis Mead. He will lead things off. Dormany still on the mound for the Blue Sox. He'd struck out looking his first time at the plate. That one is fouled off and very dangerous to give Tyrell Harris a bat. And he's wandering around the Blue Sox dugout with a bat in his hand. It's always dangerous when a pitcher has a bat.
What are you talking about? I don't understand anything what you mean by that.
I think it was an investigation. He was trying to work out what it was.
He was actually trying to hit the ball and missed it by a mile as it came into the dugout. Anyway, is what it is. As a swing and a miss on that 0-2 pitch from Mead. We'll see him go down on strikes for the second time this evening. This time a swinging strikeout for Curtis Mead. And having given him a rap for last night's batting efforts, I certainly did curse him to tonight's efforts. Sorry, Curtis. I will come down and apologise in person before tomorrow's game.
I'm sure you will.
And he won't have a clue what you're talking about.
No, none whatsoever. Logan O'Hoppe into the batter's box. He has one of the 2 base hits for the Adelaide Giants. They need to get some offence going. Otherwise, the Blue Sox are going to find themselves with Dormany going deep into this game again, 7 or 8 innings, and then possibly only having to go to one relief pitcher. They did it last night. Maestri went 7. Todd Van Steensel came in, cleaned up 8 and 9 for a combined shutout for the Blue Sox. And the Adelaide Giants cannot afford to go 2 games without scoring a run. Otherwise, the Blue Sox will be on an absolute high and they will be on a real low coming into the weekend. Swing and a miss from O'Hoppe. 2-2 the count now. O'Hoppe hasn't had that many opportunities for the Giants this year, as that pitch misses low. Only had the 6 at-bats coming into this game and had 3 base hits on the back of it. So being 1 for 1 tonight, that average again skyrockets.
Are you trying to curse another Adelaide player here? Is this what's going on? I'm not quite sure.
As he chops this one foul down past his third base coach, who skips out of the way.
There's some fancy footwork there.
Better to skip out of the way than get struck on the ankle. So Dormany resets now. I believe it is still 2 balls and 2 strikes. I don't know that it's gone to a full count. May have. But the pitch comes in and is called strike 3. Must have been a full count because O'Hoppe doesn't like it. Throws the bat down, turns around, has a few words to Ben Nash, who just points him gently in the direction of the dugout. And O'Hoppe goes down on a called 3rd strike. Jordan McArdle, the next hitter due up for Adelaide, just taking his time getting to the plate.
Six strikeouts.
Thank you, Harrod. I wondered why you were flashing fingers at me. I thought I'd done something wrong because there was one finger up on one hand.
They didn't add up.
and a whole hand at the other. The other shoved at me.
I was still doing my maths.
Usually when I get one finger shoved at me, that's telling me something. Usually tells me something other than 6. Okay, 6 strikeouts for Dormany. Pitching very well tonight. Looks for the inside corner and misses to McArdle. 1 ball, 1 strike. McArdle himself batting 2-2-2 coming into tonight. Does have an RBI on the season as he chops that one down into his feet. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 out, nobody on. The Blue Sox lead the Giants 1-0. It has been that way since the bottom of the first inning when Jacob Eunice crossed the plate for the Blue Sox to give them that 1-0 lead. One-two pitch on its way now. It's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. There's no action in the Blue Sox bullpen as yet. They're pretty happy with where Dormany is. This one is on the outside edge. It is rung up, strike number 3. That is 3 strikeouts in the innings for Thomas Dormany. and a couple of Adelaide hitters that have been left absolutely bewildered as they stagger back to the dugout and try to compose themselves as they head out for this bottom of the 5th.
Not all solar installers are created equal. As one of the largest independent solar and storage companies in Australia, SolarAy has award-winning expertise to ensure you get a smooth and expertly configured installation. A solar power system can save you tens of thousands from your power bills, add value to your home, and reduce your carbon footprint. To find out if solar's right for you, visit solaray.com.au/BlueSox. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And back at Blacktown International Sports Park as we're heading to the bottom of the 5th. We'd love you to join into the broadcast in many ways, shapes or forms as we have a pitching change which Amy will bring to us in a moment. So you can send us an SMS if you wish, 0412 203 068. That is 0412 203 068. Just whack your name on the bottom of it so we can give you a shout out. Or you can send us a tweet at Blue Sox TV. The easiest way to get us up here in the commentary box so we can say hello, give you a shout out, let you know what is going on, answer any questions you may have. Amy, change on the mound for the Giants.
Giants certainly do. On the mound starting this inning will be Dana Ono. Right-handed pitcher with some nice looking movement so far that I've seen.
We do have some little bit of a blurb courtesy of Phil Herden down there in Adelaide. Thank you, Phil, for that. He's a Japanese player. Just having a look there.
20 years old.
Comes from the Honda Club. So from the Honda Club in Japan. And has yet to give up an ERA this season. Has only had the 3.1 innings in 2 games and has only given up 3 hits in those 3.1 innings and struck out 7 in those 3 innings. So 3.1 innings. So has a pretty good ratio of strikes to balls. So you know what you're going to get, I would believe, if you're a Blue Sox hitter and you have a look at that scouting report. So Dana Ono. He steps onto the mound and he will be facing Max Brennan, Trent D'Antonio and Jacob Eunice in the lineup for the Blue Sox this inning. The bottom of the 5th, the Blue Sox leading it 1-0. Ono's first pitch fastball, and maybe the Blue Sox were all over that because they came out swinging. I know they had scouted very well last night, or with the hitters, so they believed, for Adelaide. Hence, Maestri had such a nice outing last night. So maybe they're all over the pitching as well. Brennan again going straight out after Ono. Quickly falls behind 0-2. Ono with that pronounced pause in the leg action that a lot of the Asian pitchers have, and just blasts one straight past Max Brennan. 3 pitches, 3 strikes and an out for Dana Ono. So I think the Blue Sox know what they're in for, Amy, here. It's going to be a battle of attrition here as Ono's going to try and throw strikes past them.
Absolutely. That's the ultimate goal of your relief pitcher. Throw lots and lots of strikes and get on top of your hitters really quickly.
So Trent D'Antonio, he tries running bunt. Just flares it foul towards the Giants' dugout. So far, Ono 4 for 4. He's thrown 4 pitches and come up with 4 strikes. A nice success rate, that. Antonio waits now, that 0-1 pitch on its way. Swing and a miss from Antonio. Antonio just couldn't catch up with that high outside fastball. He falls behind 0-2. The Giants are only 1 run behind, so if you're an Adelaide fan and you're tuned in, hang in there. You know the Blue Sox get a little bit rickety when it heads to the pen sometimes. So still a massive chance Ono misses for the first time in this outing. But not a bad place to miss with D'Antonio at outside. Stay away from Trent D'Antonio as much as possible. Antonio gets this one in play, but he's hit it straight at Eric Peterson, who's playing shortstop. Not the greatest of throws from Peterson, but Wingrove cleans it up. And Peterson probably owes him a beverage after the game as Wingrove digs that one out of the dirt for the second out. D'Antonio goes down on the ground ball to shortstop. And that will bring Jacob Eunice to the plate.
Wasn't the most convincing throw, that's for sure.
He did well. He circled around it. He got it into the right hand so that he could just scoop it up with the glove and throw on the run. But yeah, as you said, it wasn't the throw that made you think that Peterson's got the strongest arm in the world. But he does play third base, so he must have a pretty good cannon on that shoulder. But Wingrove picked it out of the dirt nicely. No damage done. Ono and the Giants roll on here in the bottom of the fifth. Eunice takes one on the inside edge for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jacob Eunice with, as I said, a very hot start to the season. And batting average now is up over 400. He's already had over 4 RBIs for the season. And for a guy that did struggle with the bat for a little bit early in the early part of his career, is really coming along nicely. Has been with the Sydney Blue Sox since he was 16 years of age. So he's one of the longest serving Sydney Blue Sox, even though he's still young at 25, 26 years of age. As Eunice fouls that one off in the count to 2-2. Ono looking for a 3 up, 3 down inning. A little, check swing. Ball out of play down to Tyrell Harris, who was all over it down there. He's swooped on it.
Oh, he's still got the bat in his hand, though. So
there you go. But at least he didn't try to hit it this time. He actually tried to field it.
Learned from his mistake.
That's it. That's what DHs are for. Another 2-2 pitch on its way. Hit hard, but it's into Duck Creek, maybe even into the car park. The way that was going, that could be a souvenir on somebody's seat when they head back there a little bit later.
It's still going. Let's hope they've got a convertible. They disappear out there among the snakes.
It's no Snake Gully, it's more a Duck Creek, but we saw the ducks earlier out of Duck Creek. They wandered across looking for a feed right on about dusk. This one hit hard towards third base. A horrible hop for Curtis Mead. It hit the lip between the grass and the dirt and just took off into left field. No play whatsoever for Curtis Mead. He was going to have some sort of shot at that, I think, Amy, but it's just a horrible hop.
Absolutely. He looked prepared for that one. But, yeah, as you said, no chance.
So Eunice will get himself another hit if somewhat fortuitous. You can only score at a hit. There's nothing else you can do.
What's the third baseman to do? He's got it perfectly covered. And it went way above his head.
I said just hit that lip between the dirt and the grass and just took off at a million miles an hour straight up in the air, and poor old Curtis Mead just watched it. Just ducked his head, pulled it out of the way and just watched it go over his skull out to Matt Hutchins in left field. So Eunice aboard for the third time this evening. Andy Burns to the plate. If you were thinking that anybody was due for a base hit, it would be Andy. He walked his first time up, flied out to centre field. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Already with 9 RBIs on the season, and we're only into game number 5. Or 6, in fact. A batting average of over 500 coming into this game. That one is high and outside. Really added a little bit of punch to this Blue Sox lineup's batting attack. Often has been maligned as the middle being a little bit soft at times, the Blue Sox offense. Burns certainly belying that as he pops it up, foul territory to the side of third base. Mead is going to have a play at it. He's going to catch it on the warning track just inside the fence behind third base. So a foul fly to third base will end Andy Burns' at-bat, and it will end the Sydney Blue Sox' bottom of the 5th inning. So after 5 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium, the Sydney Blue Sox are still hanging on to that narrow lead. It is 1-0, the Blue Sox over the Giants.
And your Lush Greenery is your comprehensive commercial supplier for all your artificial greenery requirements. From concept to completion, they are there every step of the way to help make your garden area or interior area look amazing. Lush Greenery covers your interior or exterior designs from a range of barn doors to green walls, planter boxes to climbing vines, and many more. To see examples of their spectacular green walls and for more information, visit lushgreenery.com.au. Lush Greenery are proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
That's easy for you to say, Harrow, by the sounds of things. Oh, it's all good.
They're very good. Lush Greenery, if you have a look, I still can't say greenery. Greenery. Lush Greenery, they are fantastic.
Yeah, they make all your restaurant areas and whatnot into like atriums. They'll bring in the indoor plants.
Looks wonderful.
And they really can highlight an area and make it look fantastic.
And a good website.
As I said, if you jump on the website, you'll see all the the climbing vines and that they put on the interiors of restaurants. And
do I say it again? The Lush Greenery website. lushgreenery.com.au.
It's hard to find good help. That's why we've brought in Amy.
Better do a good job then, but no.
That's all right. You're going to go at these when you come back from your honeymoon.
Oh, fantastic.
Or maybe
Things to look
before.
forward to.
What about tomorrow night?
When you're Mrs. Cannington.
Shall be playing baseball myself tomorrow night. Sorry about that.
Oh, no.
So we head to the top of the sixth inning, and it will be Matt Hutchins, the left fielder, to start things off for the Giants. Only had one trip to the plate so far. He grounded out to second base. So having done a really good job has Thomas Dormany to only have been through the lineup twice as he heads here now to the top of the sixth inning. That's always a concern, I would imagine, of the pitchers, and especially the coaches of the pitchers. Once you get to that third time through the lineup and they've seen pretty much every pitch that you've got in your arsenal, it gets really dangerous for a pitcher then to keep going.
Yeah, look, if you're not spotting those second and third pitches by the time you get through that second and third time of the order, it just means that you can't attack quite as well because you need to change your routines. You need to change the way that you're trying to get them out.
So 2 balls and 1 strike. Hutchings just steps out of the back. A lot of little bugs flying around here at Blacktown tonight. It has been a very hot week. We had a little bit of rain midweek with a storm that came through Sydney that did some damage as it headed through and dropped a little bit of rain around the tracks, but very, very dry, humid conditions. This one's chopped straight at Nagope. He should have no problems. Comes up as smooth as silk. Throws it out at first base. Quality shortstop is Gift Nagope, and very good that, and maybe it's a sign of the management and the front office here at the Blue Sox that needs to get credit to be able to get these sorts of players coming back time and time again. Get Murphy to come back for a second series here at the Blue Sox. To get Gift Nagope to come back for a second season here at the Blue Sox. He
looks so cool, calm and smooth.
Even pitchers like Tyrell Harris. Very rare to get international pitchers to come back here for a second outing. This one's a high fly ball deep to left. It's going to the bullpen. It's going to stay in fair territory. Max Brennan's going to have a play, and he's going to make the catch. He had a long run as he was playing more towards the centre left sort of side of the diamond, and he had to take that only a yard or two inside the foul line right in the corner here of Blue Sox Stadium. So a really nice play that from Max Brennan to make what's got to be 30 or 40 metres to get around to take that catch right in the corner of Blue Sox Stadium.
Yeah, I think Dormany is thankful for his speed on that hit.
It's hopefully for Dormany and the Blue Sox one less batter he has to throw at. There is action now starting to happen up in the Blue Sox bullpen. It looks like that man we were mentioning, Harris, looks like he might be up throwing, as this is just a drive straight at centre field. Routine fly ball out there for Michael Krause. He won't make any problems with those. Has no difficulty reining it in. And that will end the innings. 3 up, 3 down, as quick as you like, as we are heading to the middle of the 6th. The Blue Sox not having much trouble out there at the moment, but they are not leading by much. They do only have that 1-run lead. It is the Blue Sox leading the Nearly said the bite. I pulled myself back, leading the Giants by 1-0.
You did say bite.
No, I said nearly
heard
did.
it.
I said nearly did.
Bartercard is the operator of the world's largest trade exchange, where small and medium-sized businesses barter trade in 8 countries across a dynamic mix of industries. Bartercard has revolutionised the way its members do business, from attracting new customers to conserving cash and increasing profits. Bartercard's world-leading system enables members to enhance their businesses through a cashless marketplace. For more information, go to bartercard.com.au and check out all the options. Bartercard, of course, are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
Another change on the mound for the Giants. Just trying to get the numbers in there.
Yeah, interesting that quick change. Ono didn't have a lot of work to do in his time. He didn't throw many pitches at all, so they've put their next pitcher up on the hill, and we'll just find out who that is once we check out numbers.
It is Evan Ruchski, a 27-year-old from Canada in his first ABL season.
Oh, okay.
Plays a bit of indie ball over seas. Pitched for Canada in the 2019 Premier 12. So we should see some quality on the hill here. Very exciting to
He's
see.
a fairly solid guy, 6'5".
It's almost as tall as you, Harrow.
He's a bit heavier than me. 6'5", yeah. I won't be interviewing him.
Not unless you've got your milk crate.
I don't stand next to people that tall. I did it once in Brisbane.
Oh, let me guess, you went next to Mr. Sutherland?
Goofy. Yeah, that's him. Was a Little League promo. He's there helping the kids and everything else, and it's quite a funny interview. We've got it on record, and I'm going to probably delete the replay one day.
I have that problem all the time.
No.
There aren't many people who are the same height as I am.
David Sutherland is a very tall guy and a fantastic character. Great guy.
I believe he may have been the first ABL batter to 300 hits. David Sutherland. I could be wrong. It's the old memory trying to throw up facts, but I believe he may have been the first to 300 hits. But bottom of the 6th inning in front of us. And it is Gift Nagope to start things off. It chops one foul into his feet to start against Evan Rutsky. That pitch low and outside to Nagope. Well, one pitch on its way. Nagope pops it foul over the grandstand and out of play.
One-run ball game. Blue Sox scoring their run in the bottom of the first inning. So scoreless since the first inning, and we're in the bottom of the 6th now. And they keep trying to build, but their runners been left on. There's been 4 runners left on by the Blue Sox. Haven't been able to convert those. So still a battle here. One-run ball game is still a nervous game for coaches, obviously, and there's still 3 innings left to go.
And that one run was an unearned run, don't forget, Harrow. It was there courtesy of the error at second base by Peterson. So,
Yep.
So no earned runs at all in this game so far. The pitcher's doing a really good job. The Blue Sox only have a couple of hits, well, as do Adelaide. So there's only been a couple of hits in the whole game. It's been a real tight, real nice pitcher's duel. Kyne's doing a good job. Ono then taking over, and now Rutsky. Nagope's full count pitch is low and outside. And Nagope will walk.
And he missed it by quite a ways as well. It almost seems like a nervous game for both clubs for me tonight.
Well, it's an important game. This game will put Sydney back at 500. It'll put them 3-3 and in a position to then go to the top of the ladder in this Northeast Division. And from there, destiny's in your own hands. If you win more than you lose, you're going to finish in one of those top 2 positions.
Yeah.
For Adelaide, they got off to a screaming start of 4-0. Now, to all of a sudden drop 2, you're starting to slide back down your division's ladder, and you're allowing the teams to come back to you. So it is important that they end that slide very quickly and they don't lose 2, 3, maybe even 4 on the trot. If they were to get swept by Sydney this weekend, it almost negates the fantastic start they had against the Bandits.
Yeah, absolutely. So after this round of games, after Series 2 is completed, it's going to be an interesting table. It's going to congest a little.
Well, it's almost the exact opposite to how it started last year, as Moanaroa waits, takes a pitch on the inside edge for a strike. Last year it was the Northeast Division getting off to the flying start. It was Sydney that swept Korea. It was the Bandits that swept at home. It was this Northeast Division that really ran away with it, and everyone was saying, it's not fair that the South Division's a weaker division, yada, yada, yada. Not the case. This year it's turned around where it was the Southern Division that was the stronger starters, and it is now the Northeast Division that has to play catch-up. Very dangerous position coming here for Evan Rootsky, falling behind Boss Moanaroa. Always a worry if you've got a pitch to Boss Moanaroa. You know he can hit, and you know he can hit extremely hard. Not playing the shift that they played on Moanaroa early. The first inning they had a full switch and a shift to the right side of the diamond on Moanaroa. Now playing a little bit shifted to the right, but not nearly as bad as when he broke his bat in inning 1. In the first inning, shortstop was on the first base side of second base.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Not on this occasion. He is almost in behind the pitcher, a left-handed Rootsky, but it's not nearly as pronounced as it was when Moanaroa had his first bat in the first inning. Rootsky to the plate now. 2-1 hit hard. This is launched towards the flagpoles. It's got a chance. It's going. It's going. It is gone.
Goodbye.
I told you don't want to fall behind Moanaroa. Thump goes the boss man. And the big boss man is back in blue as he launches one out of Blacktown and gives the Blue Sox a 2-run bomb to lead it 3-0 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Wow. Just leaning into that one big time, the boss man.
That's the problem when you fall behind power hitters like Boss Moanaroa. You have to come back to that strike zone. And Moanaroa was just sitting on fastball, got what he was looking for and launched it into the trees out in right centre field.
Welcome back, boss.
So there's something for Michael Kraus to try and follow now. How do you follow a 2-run bomb like that from the boss man?
Well, bases are clear.
You follow it up with a solo shot.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he'd be happy with a base hit.
Oh, I'm sure he would be too. A base on balls and a comebacker on a running bunt attempt, as it's been his 2 at-bats so far this evening. Hangs in with a batting average. Only $1.50 early on. This one is drilled straight towards second baseman Stobie, who gets a friendly hop across the Wingrove for the out. Just lets a little bit of air out of the atmosphere here at Blue Sox Stadium after that 2-run bomb from Boss Moanaroa. A routine ground ball to second baseman Stobie for the out.
The crowd certainly loved it. They saw a little bit of action. It's been an arm wrestle all night. And as I said, the first run was scored in the first inning. It's taken us right through to the 6th to get another run across the plate. And Sydney managed to triple their score. Just working on the stats, that's all. My maths is improving.
You didn't have to use your fingers that time, so yeah, it's definitely improving.
But I think he may have taken the shoes and socks off just to play safe. Michael Campbell to the batter's box now for the Blue Sox. First pitch he sees is a ball. That should be in there for a called strike and is. So Rootsky giving up the first earned runs of the game, courtesy of that no-doubter from Boss Moanaroa. It was hit and hit hard. Campbell takes inside 2 balls and 1 strike. As we said with the conditions, the area you wanted to be hitting was towards those flagpoles tonight, and that is the wheelhouse of Bosmo and Aroa. Unfortunately for the Adelaide Giants, Evan Rutsky found that wheelhouse.
Certainly left that pitch up for him to hit, didn't he?
Yeah. You leave it up and in at Bosmo and Aroa, you know it is going to travel. You just got to pray that it travels in foul territory, not fair territory. But unfortunately for the Giants, that was going nowhere but out over the fences to the batting cages here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Campbell takes again. That's a called strike on the outside edge of the strike zone. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes, a full count with 1 away. With the Blue Sox adding a couple to their lead. 3-0 here now in the bottom of the 6th. Campbell slaps that one foul. That has certainly made the crowd feel a little bit more comfortable, and probably the Blue Sox bullpen too. I don't know whether we'll see Dormany come back now with a 3-run lead after 6. They might slip him out and bring Terrell Harris in. He's the man up there throwing. Rutsky comes to the plate on the inside edge. Called strike 3. Down goes Michael Campbell looking. Rutsky gets his first strikeout. Good comeback from Rutsky after giving up that 2-run home run. He got Krause to ground out to second base, gets Campbell on strikes, and now Murphy to the plate. Always hard. I imagine it's always hard, not being a pitcher, to bounce back after you see one disappear over the fence like so.
Absolutely. It's a big mental battle when you've missed a spot and you've been punished to come back and be confident to throw that next good spot.
Murphy with a chance to try and prolong this bottom of the 6th for the Blue Sox. Takes the first pitch. Misses upstairs. Ball 1. Another good crowd in here at Blue Sox Stadium tonight. It was a good crowd last night for a Thursday night, but it was the season opener. Again, Friday night, good crowd. I know tomorrow night is all but sold out. So if you want to get here tomorrow night and you're a Blue Sox fan, jump on to sydneybluesox.com.au and get your tickets. Murphy ahead 2-0. Taking all the way. That one is low for ball 3. Rutsky not happy with himself, just slapping that glove. Closed around the ball as it came back. Really love to get rid of Murphy here and just get back to the dugout and regroup. 3-0 pitch being taken all the way. Misses high and inside, and that will be ball 4 on Jack Murphy. So Murphy aboard with a 2-out walk here in the bottom of the 6th. And that's going to be a mound visit, as O'Hoppy will head to the mound and out will come, I think that might be the pitching coach for the Adelaide Bite, which from memory...
Oh, there was the bite.
Oh, sorry, yeah, there it is. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, good on you.
You're welcome.
Are you in on this? You in on this money, are you? You in on this?
Absolutely,
this
why not?
It'll be Josh Spence.
It will be Josh Spence.
And it appears, Cam, over 2 games, you're the only one saying it.
Old habits die hard.
And we've got you up to, what did you say it is, $5 a time or $1
Oh,
a
keep
time?
going. Good on you.
Oh, it was $5 when we started today,
Mr.
wasn't
Bulldogs.
Yes, that was it, yes.
At least
Yeah, I'll cop one for that anyway.
I was going to say, at least I still gave the name of the club as it used to be.
I've had some jelly beans since then. Just increase the sugar levels like you suggested. Pitching visit's done. He's still there.
And no change.
That might have been a little bit of a refocusing adjustment by the pitching coach. Max Brennan steps in now.
Brennan has flied out and struck out in his 2 at-bats. Shows bunt, withdraws the bat, takes called strike. That always happens when the fans down below us start chanting the number of balls that happen. You can almost guarantee that the next pitch the umpire, just to spite them, will call strike, whether it is there or not, as long as it's close.
Good to have an active crowd involved in the game.
So 1 ball and 1 strike on Max Brennan. Jack Murphy stands at first base, not looking to go anywhere in a hurry, Jack. Has had his problems with his knees over the years, as most catchers do. Has lost a yard of speed over the last couple of seasons. Brennan does show bunt. It's all. I was going to say, almost carried all the way to third base. That bunt almost landed on third base. It actually landed on the last little piece of grass before third base and shot into foul territory.
Well, it hit the cut grass, and there is a lip there just inside the line.
But if that carries about another 5 or 6 feet, that lands on third base and was going to be an awfully awkward play for Curtis Mead to have had to make. So Brennan now with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out and a runner at first. 2-2 pitch is right on the top of the strike zone. Strike number 3 called on Max Brennan. He goes down on strikes for the second time this evening, but not before the Blue Sox add a couple, courtesy of a Boss Moanaroa bomb, a big boss man special there in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that will basically be the Blue Sox's extra. So 2 to the Blue Sox makes it 3-0. The Blue Sox lead the Adelaide Giants.
Not all solar installers are created equal. As one of the largest independent solar and storage companies in Australia, SolarAy has award-winning expertise to ensure you get a smooth and expertly configured installation. A solar power system can save you tens of thousands from your power bills, add value to your home, and reduce your carbon footprint. To find out if solar is right for you, visit solaray.com.au/BlueSox. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
Check 1, 2. There we go. We're back. We lost our microphones for a second over here. All good. We're back here at Blue Sox Stadium, heading to the top of the 7th inning. And the Adelaide Giants trail the Blue Sox 3-0 as we head to this top of the 7th inning. Due ups for the Giants, Stobie, Unklinski and Wingrove.
And Thomas Dormany stays on the mound for the Sox. Big number 13 out there. He's been doing a great job through the first 6 innings, keeping the bats quiet for the Adelaide Giants, and no runs on the board. And in fact, 2 hits to the Adelaide Giants, and that was a single to third base, that is, in the 2nd innings was the first hit. The next hit was in the 4th innings with a single to 7 by Cole Stobie. And a Stobie who comes to the plate now to lead off the top of the 7th innings for the Giants. Big swing and a miss on a first pitch from Thomas Dormany in this top of the 7th inning. So they just took some pace off that one, dropped it into the zone, right out on the edge. And Stobie, of course, went for the hit a little earlier and didn't make any contact. Same pitch again, almost identical replay to the previous pitch from Dormany. Get Stobie swinging. He's just taken the pace out of it. And Stobie's timing is all mixed up. So 0-2 now the count. 0-2 pitch from Dormany. Gets one faster on the inside. Paints that out that edge and just gets him swinging. Confused his timing completely, as I called. And 3 straight strikes from Dormany to Stobie. That is the first out with a swinging strike. K2. And that's 1 up, 1 down for the Adelaide Giants. Top of the 7th, Sydney leading 3-0. And that brings to the plate Ben Unklinski. Unklinski playing right field. 1 ball, misses the first pitch. Next one, Cummins relocates his strike zone, does Dormany. And drifts one in top side of the zone, getting the top edge. 1-1 pitch. Unklinski gets a ground ball straight off to shortstop and Golpi gets it across to Moanara at first base for a 6-3 regulation ground ball. And that's a second out now on the Adelaide Giants here in the top of the 7th. 2 up, 2 down. And the Blue Sox just rolling through this game, rolling through the lineup. That will bring to the plate for the Adelaide Giants their first baseman, the big figure of Rickson Wingrove. Dormany very settled, very organised. Again, pitch count must be very economical. And the big rangy lefty gets one straight into the strike zone, working the outside on Wingrove. Dormany comes to the plate again, pounces one down on home plate. Murphy just brushes it off, gets the fresh ball back into the middle. Of course, the benefit of the last 2 games, last night and tonight, the bullpen for the Blue Sox is full up with talent. Absolutely. So, Amy, if you got that many pitches up your sleeve, it all augurs well for the next 2 games, Saturday and Sunday.
It really does. It just gives your starters for the next 2 games that backup in case they need it.
Yep.
But it's been great to see Dormany still dominating the strike zone, and he's really up to the tempo this inning.
Also gives your manager a few more options if he wants to go match a little bit later in a closer game, if one of the other games becomes closer too.
And again, the Giants go 3 up, 3 down. A fastball straight through the zone on Wingrove, gets him swinging. Couldn't keep up with the pace of it. 3 up, 3 down. Adelaide Giants done and dusted through the top half of the 7th innings. We go to the break now. Sydney leading 3 runs to 0 over the Adelaide Giants halfway through the 7th.
Yeah, stretch time here at Blue Sox Stadium as we head to, as we said, the middle of the 7th inning. In 1928, Middendorp Electrical Goods and Supply Company was born of humble beginnings in Melbourne, selling light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical supplies. It's now 90 years later and Middendorp has evolved into Middy's Data and Electrical. While still being that same family-owned and operated business, it has grown into one of Australia's largest data and electrical companies. In the ever-changing landscape that is the data and electrical industry, Middy's pride themselves on the service to their loyal customers and tradesmen, their pricing, their variety, and of course that continued evolution. Middy's Data and Electrical, offering you more. Middy's are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
They certainly are. And a quick shout out to Oscar and Owen doing the technical work in background there. Camera switching, audio, just doing a sensational job. They get here very early before games to set everything up for us to make sure we're pretty much tuned in. And of course tonight we're getting more camera shots than last night. We've gone from 3 cameras last night to 5 cameras tonight. Research
department onto it again, and we can just let you know after that top of the 7th inning, Thomas Dormany's pitch count stands at a pair of 7s, 77 through 7 inning.
Wow. What great numbers for Dormany.
So he may well go all the way, depending on whether he has pitch counts placed on him from his parent club. It will be interesting to see what Shane Barclay and, of course, Chris Oxspring, the pitching coach for the Blue Sox, decide to do.
And what a benefit having someone with the experience of Chris Oxspring in your bullpen as your coach.
I've had a couple of chats. I've tried to get Chris to come up and have a chat to us, but the humble man that he is, he doesn't really want to put himself on a microphone at the moment. But
he's shy.
I guarantee you when we get our interviews happening down there on the field, the post games and whatnot, hopefully maybe tomorrow night we can do some pre-recorded and some live interviews, but we will certainly make sure we get Ox at some stage.
So I'll go to Amy now and ask you about pitching coaches. And I guess being in the position you're in, you're an Australian player, who would you say, and this is a question without notice, has been the most influence on you as far as pitching coaching goes, influencing your game?
Look, that is a very tough question.
Yeah,
I mean, 2014 World Cup, we were lucky enough to have Graham Lloyd as our pitching coach. We had Matt Williams.
There's someone you can look up to.
Like I say, and not only that, a few better. There's a few people that wear 2 World Series rings around their fingers than Graham Lloyd.
Yeah, every pitching coach brings something new to the team and to the players, and it's just great to be able to learn the snippets from each coach to help improve your game.
So over your time, what you get is you get somebody giving you advice. And some people that works for and some people it doesn't. So you pick out the best of each of those and you end up with a great result.
Absolutely. It also depends on personalities and what you can work with what you have.
Graham Lloyd as a person, Graham Lloyd as just a gentleman, and a figurehead for Australian baseball.
Absolutely. It was a real honour to have been coached by him.
Sensational. Thank you for that answer. Very great.
Good man, Graham Lloyd. I still remember when we did a season opener down at
Campbelltown
at Gilchrist Reserve down there. He had nothing but time for
D'Antonio
us.
drives one, lifts it too high into centre field. There's a man out there in the shape of Aaron Whitefield. So fly ball to the centre, one up, one down for Trent D'Antonio. Sydney Blue Sox in the bottom of the 7th. Sorry, Cam. Yeah, that was a good series and very interesting man to talk to.
Now, of course, he's the manager of the Geelong career team. So off to a winning start to his managerial ABL duties.
He knows stuff.
He does know stuff.
Certainly
As I
does.
said, very few Australians wandering around with 2 World Series rings to be able to display, but Graham's got a couple.
Jacob Eunice at the plate now. And that pitch way outside in the left-handed batter's box. And down low in the dirt as well from no changes, Evan Rutsky.
Oh, there has been a pitching change. We now have Jason
That's
Lott.
26.
I was going to say, yeah, Rutsky was a tall left-hander.
Yes, he was. Jason Lott, not so
Oh,
tall
short.
from here, probably still taller than me.
We can't say short right-hander, can we?
Second year in the ABL, 24-year-old.
Good pick-up. Jason Lott snuck in under our guard.
We're busy having a chat.
We were.
Yeah.
Bottom of the 7th. Eunice steps back in again now. 2-1 count. Just missing outside low again. So testing the patience of Jacob Eunice. He's had 2 singles to left field. And he got on in the first inning with an error by the second baseman. That's in the zone. Not a lot of pace on that one from Lott. So plenty of atmosphere here at Blue Sox Stadium. Well, gets bat to ball. Cut off by shortstop Peterson. Peterson tries. No, it doesn't make a play. He has to get the grip. There was a good cut off of that card. Hit ground ball from Eunice. At least he cut it off, but he could not get any balance to make a throw. And went full stretch across the ground to get that one. So Eunice gets on to first base with a single to shortstop position 6.
And I can say it now because he may not have another at-bat tonight. Jacob Eunice is on fire! Hard hit ball up the middle, which resulted in an error his first at-bat, which basically got him on base, and he then stole second, stole third, and scored. Then he's had 3 hits after that, so he's 4 at-bats. He's had 3 base hits and a hard hit ball up the middle, which was scored an error.
Good stuff. Speaking of on fire, here's Andy Burns.
Yeah, we know what you did there, Harrow. Fire, Burns.
Yeah,
we were just ignoring
I
it.
didn't expect a response. Lucky the crowd can't hear me, isn't it?
Yeah, lucky Funky Phil can't hear you. He'd probably throw a water balloon at you.
That hasn't happened tonight yet.
No, he has been warned there is electrical equipment up here.
Ah, good. The 1-1 pitch now from Lott to Andy Burns. Foul tip.
Last thing we need is a Funky Phil water bomb up here and then the entire place to be shorted out. The lights go down.
I've seen it attempted.
It's bad enough I've got to make sure I don't spill my water.
Jason Lott takes a long time to get his signals off his catcher Logan O'Hoppy. Just an honesty throw across to Wingrove at first base to make sure that he reminds Jacob Eunice he is watching him. Eunice loves a stolen base.
He's already got 2 tonight, so he might be trying to add to that tally.
There he goes. High hit ball. It's a fly ball. He's got to hold up.
Chance to
Heading
get-
back for it is Mead. No, he's been called off by shortstop Peterson. Peters takes that fly ball in foul territory off the bat of Andy Byrne. And so foul fly to position 6, even though it's over near the fence. And Eunice retreats quickly back to first base safely. The 2 down now for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the 7th inning, as they try to add to their tally of 3 runs. They're leading the Adelaide Giants by 3-0. Now stepping in, Gift and Gopi. And Gopi, nice, cool character, but aggressive with the bat. Way outside, pitch out for trying getting the comeback behind the runner at first, Eunice. Hoppy throws up the line to Wingrove, but too late. Eunice is already back and settled. So and Gopi stands back in again now. If anybody's due for a hit, it's him. Just missing the edge there is Lott. He likes having a chat with the umpire, doesn't he, between pitches?
He's a friendly fellow.
He might be trying to find out how much it missed by, so he knows where to look for the next one. Like to be a fly on the wall sometime down there. Check swing on that one, called strike though. Obviously through the zone in the umpire's opinion. Ben Nash behind the plate. Bobby Crawford up the first base line umpiring, and Trent Thomas looking after third base. Attempt on the throwback there. That's just keeping Eunice nailed to the bag a little. And Gopi steps back in. He's ready. He's waiting. Pops one up in the infield. Eunice will keep going. And underneath it is Peterson, the shortstop. Comes in right onto the edge of the cut grass of the infield. And Gopi out on a fly ball to position 6, the shortstop. And that's 3 out for the Blue Sox. Their attack is shut down once again. They leave Eunice stranded in this bottom of the 7th inning. But after 7 completed from Blue Sox Stadium, it is the Sydney Blue Sox leading the Adelaide Giants by 3-0.
Not all solar installers are created equal. As one of the largest independent solar and storage companies in Australia, SolarAid has award-winning expertise to ensure you get a smooth and expertly configured installation. A solar power system can save you tens of thousands from your power bills, add value to your home, and reduce your carbon footprint. To find out if solar is right for you, visit solaray.com.au/BlueSox. SolarAid Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park, where we are at Blue Sox Stadium. And it's the Blue Crew from Sports Broadcasting Australia bringing you Game 2 in Series number 2 of the Australian Baseball League's 2019-2020 season. And of course, all teams playing tonight across Australia. 4 games in total. And right here at Blue Sox Stadium, it's the Sox leading the Adelaide Giants by 3-0.
Would you like me to do the scores, Harry, while we've got this bit of a gap?
If you've got them there, Cam.
I can tell you that there is a rain delay down in Melbourne. The Tuatara were leading that 3-0 into the 4th inning when the rains come down there. So that one has stalled at the moment. The Bandits and Korea up there in Brisbane are 4 apiece as they head to the 8th.
Wow.
So that one is tight. Of course, it is 3-0 here at Blue Sox Stadium, and it is the Cavalry and the Heat due to get underway any moment now. They might have just started playing over there, but it is 0-0. It was due for a 7:30 first pitch over in the west, so they would be just about ready to throw down over there now.
Okay, we go to the top of the 8th, and Adelaide will be leading off through Curtis Mead, their third baseman tonight.
He deserves a hit. I've cursed him long enough
and
tonight.
High out of the zone for a ball. You have put the mock on him several times.
Yeah, just having a quick look at the radar down south in Melbourne, and it's not a pretty looking sight, so I don't know how much more baseball they'll get down there tonight, but we will keep you posted if they get back on and how the scores go. And
that's a walk issued for Mead. It just must have hit him, I guess. The count wasn't up there.
That was four straight pitches.
Okay.
So now further action in the Blue Sox bullpen.
Base on balls. And, of course, Dormany came back onto the mound with 77 pitches after 7 innings. That's a great average, 11 per inning.
He's now thrown 81.
Thanks, Cam. Murphy going out for a chat because he knows what's brewing. And just giving the bullpen a little bit more time to stretch up.
Luke Wilkins looks like he might be the reliever of choice for the Sydney Blue Sox.
And a good job done by Thomas Dormany. And when he is called on to leave the mound, which might happen very, very soon as Murphy just buys a bit of time.
Experienced catcher, Jack Murphy, isn't he? He stays out there as long as he possibly can till Ben Nash, the umpire, actually comes out and says, come on, Jack, you've had enough.
And it's a long stroll back.
It's slow stroll back too, isn't it? It takes all the time that he can possibly take.
So Logan O'Hoppy steps in now for the Giants. The catcher, he's done a pretty good job for the Giants tonight. Ground ball straight to shortstop and Gopi. They get the first half of the double play. They get the second half of the double play. There's Adelaide, 2 up, 2 down all of a sudden.
What a play.
Chris Mead out, first out. O'Hoppy, the second out. And Amy's got one to call about that.
Oh, what a play. Backhand side for Ngopi. But just picked it up cleanly, fired the throw to second base, and it had lots of time to make that second play.
Good call, and the lotto numbers are 6, 4 and 3. Got those, you're a winner.
Get out of the front ticket office and see the Blue Sox staff. Collect your prize.
So bases are clear now, and McArdle steps into the left-handed hitter's box. Jordan McArdle, designated hitter tonight. The number 28 clearly on his back, and 2 out in this top of the 8th innings. Adelaide just cannot get a break anywhere here, and that's due to the great pitching and fielding of the Sydney Blue Sox behind the pitching of Thomas Dormany.
He's certainly having to work hard now. We can see he's tiring. Got a lucky break with that double play, but needs to go harder, this hitter.
Would really love to get out of it with this batter, wouldn't he? Get out of this innings with this batter, go to the dugout, finish the inning and go and just hand it over to Wilkins, who looks like he might be the closer to end this game for the Blue Sox.
Nice pitch. Gets a swing and a miss out of McArdle.
Interesting that at 3-0, McArdle obviously had the green light with down by 3 runners. You'd almost hang on to that and just you need a base runner.
3-1, it's still technically a count in favour of the batter.
In fact, it was 2-1, and that will make it 3-1. Okay. Yeah. I had a feeling they were getting a bit fast on the balls up there.
Yeah, a bit too quick.
All good.
So McArdle steadies himself now. Lefty on lefty, fouls it off down into home plate.
I guess I thought it was a bit weird when you're down by 3, desperately in need of base runners to be hacking away at a 3-0 pitch. In fact, it wasn't a 3-0 pitch at the time, it was a 2-0 pitch,
2-0,
which makes a lot more sense.
So, shakes off the first call from Murphy, goes with the next one, and walks McArdle. A good patient at bat there from Jordan McArdle.
After having beautiful control all night long, he's given up 2 walks in this innings. It would almost have to be time as the Blue Sox send a representative up to the bullpen to make sure that the relievers are ready to go.
Yeah,
Looks like might have been Ox himself going up for a jog up to the bullpen to make sure his relief pitchers are ready to go.
So I think he gets to the 9th batter in the lineup, Matt Hutchings.
This will be it. This will be the last batter for Dormany one way or other. Either he gets out of the innings for the Blue Sox, or once they go back to the top of the order, the reliever will come in.
Absolutely. Fully agree, Cam. So last night, Sydney got away with using 2 pitching staff. Tonight, they might just use 2.
They're hoping to do the exact same thing. Yep.
Adelaide have gone through 4 tonight, a couple last night, so they've gone into their pen a little. sets up tomorrow night, the Saturday game starting at 6:30 p.m. Saturday night, Eastern Daylight Saving Time.
Remember that, everybody, an hour earlier tomorrow.
Sets it up for a good contest as Hutchings gets a called strike. The scoreboard shows 3-1, but we believe it's 2-2 came out of the umpire's hands.
Yes, it did.
Oh, little flinch there from Hutchings. I think he's more trying to avoid the ball than anything else.
We did see one of them called last night, Harrow.
Yep.
I swear to you that the batsman was getting out of the way and the umpire called a swing on him, which sent him down on strikes. And the pitch was way inside and he was just jumping out of the way. And just the way the bat came down, the umpire called him for a swing.
Wouldn't imagine he'd be too happy about that.
He wasn't at all. Runner goes.
And he gets rung up on the strike. It was there all right. Don't you worry about that, Matt Hutchings.
It's a beautiful pitch.
So called strikes. That brings up the third out. On the ninth batter,
Almost a fitting way for Thomas Dormady to walk off the mound. He was in control for all of those innings, and to get that KC right at the end there, the strikeout looking is the perfect way for Thomas Dormady to head back to the dugout, which what probably should be the last batter he faces tonight.
Well, it would have been natural to bring in a closer now. Just shut the game out. He's got to come in and do his closer's job. And goodness knows the closers need work as well.
That's it, they certainly do.
As I said, you don't want them to do too much work because you never know when you're going to need them, and it's always handy to be able to have them to call on when you need them the most. But I think we might do a read for Mytronics here, Harrow, because they are one of the major sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox. So if you need printer or copier needs, Mytronics are the people for you. Mytronics are Australia's largest brand independent office equipment and supplies company. They are proud to be wholly Australian owned and operated, and they stock all of the best and most famous brands of printers and copiers. Mytronics guarantee to better any valid Australian quote, so you can be sure not only are you getting the best value and service, but you are getting the latest and best products when you buy from Mytronics. So jump online and check out their massive range of printers and copiers and all of the service they provide. Check out mytronics.com.au. Mytronics are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
And welcome back to the Blue Sox Stadium. Mytronics, of course, very important supporters of the Sydney Blue Sox and baseball across the state in any case. And deeply involved at the junior levels as well as these levels of ABL. Another change on the mound for Adelaide.
We're diving into the roster because we've got an unnumbered player on the diamond.
Yeah, 33 up there. We've got to dig deep. And
we haven't got a 33 on our lineups, Harrow, which is our problem.
Okay.
We're just having a look through. I think it might be Ryan Chaffee who's listed in 32, but I'm only guessing at that.
Yeah, well, the research department has just taken off to the scorer's box, and he'll be back with an answer very, very soon, I'm sure.
Ryan Chaffee was due to wear 33. Closest. He is a right-hand thrower. 30-year-old who's been bounced around between the Angels and the Marlins organisation over there in minor league baseball.
So we'll see if we can bring you this new pitcher on the mound here as we go to the bottom of the eighth innings, leading off through Boss Moanaroa. Called strike. First pitch on Moanaroa. He's a big, tall guy, whoever he is. If he fits the stats, that'll be him.
It's Tom Fitzgerald wearing number 33.
Aha, instead of number 20.
I didn't think he looked like a 30-year-old, like Chaffee says.
Might be using moisturiser.
Tom Fitzgerald. And we're in the bottom of the eighth inning for that change. So Adelaide just really putting guys up to roll their arms over. Really doing a bit of a bullpen in live game situation. They're trailing by 3 runs. Sydney looking to build some insurance. Moanaroa still at the plate, the big, solid left-hander.
Of course, had a slightly memorable last at bat, did Boss?
Certainly did. 2-run home run, a dinger to centre right field. That disappeared into the darkness. He's looking for it again. This one will go foul.
This time you notice after that last one disappeared through the flagpoles where the Adelaide Giants have moved to.
Are they all lined up over there?
They have switched hard to the right side of the diamond again.
If they sail over the fence, they still can't catch them, you know.
Yeah, very hard to post somebody on top of the batting cages out there in the distance in right field. Have a look how deep right field is playing here.
And he draws a walk.
He was playing on the warning track, starting on the warning track and coming in a yard or two as the pitch was thrown. So definitely afraid of the power of Moanaroa. And that is what Boss has done better in the last 3 or 4 years since he went to Canberra and developed his baseball game. Quite often in that situation, you'd see him just hacking away pitch after pitch after pitch, going down on strikes. But he really has learnt to be patient and wait for his pitch.
Total of 6 runners have been put on base through walks.
Pinch
during
runner
this game.
coming out. Moanaroa time to have a rest.
That makes sense.
It's going to be Travis Bazzana, number 72, heading out onto the pinch running.
Now there's a young up-and-coming talented player out of Sydney.
Very much so.
Pitch running for Sydney, Travis Bazzana.
His dad's down there in the stand somewhere, round about the middle.
Just 17 years of age, Travis. So good to see him getting around. Was with the Blue Sox last year as a developmental player, and again coming around with the Blue Sox. So again, another 16-year-old gets a couple of starts with the Blue Sox. So hopefully he'll be around as long as the likes of Eunice and D'Antonio and those sorts of blokes.
Yep.
But a bright future ahead for Travis Bazzana.
Let's see if Michael Krause can move him around the diamond. Check swing fouled off. I think it's off the handle of the bat somewhere. They all count. So Krause steps back in again now. 2-1 the count. Pitcher Tom Fitzgerald has just come into the game for the Giants. For those that may have just tuned in, pick-off attempt. Just keeping the runner honest. Bazzana just came into the game fresh. Fouled off by Krause down the third base side. A very slow turn around here as Krause goes for a little bit of a walk, and that ball comes back in. Fitzgerald goes with the 2-2 pitch to Krause. Patience. Fills them up now. Just missing there, so 3-2 the count now on Michael Krause. Runner at first base, Sydney leading 3-0. Lose that. Called strike on Krause in any case. Stolen base. Bazzana stands at second. Krause becomes the first out on a strikeout. So one out now. Runner standing at second in scoring position.
Good running from Bazzana. That's what he was out there to do. They would love that. Just that one extra insurance run. It just takes that one possibility of a 3-run bomb out of the equation. It turns it into then Adelaide needing a grand slam to get back into it.
And now catcher wants to have a chat with the pitcher, and he's got to find out if it's a visit or not.
Not well. He was just checking out how many visits he's probably had, Harrow, because you're only allowed a certain amount. And just, you know, if it was counted as a visit, would that be over the limit? Would they be in trouble?
Well, he's only come in this inning, so he hasn't had a visit.
No, but you're only allowed a total amount for the game now.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think in the ABL. I'd have to go back to the rule. I think it's 5 or 6, to be honest. It wouldn't be many more than 6. I think you guys, Amy, had 6 at the last last World Cup, I think 6 visits.
I can't remember the last World Cup, but I know that in the women's grade games we have 5 visits for the game. So
I would say it will be 5
that's
then.
for 7 innings. So I would say it actually maybe a couple more, seeing as it is 9 innings game versus 7 innings game.
I think the Major League used 6 visits
Per game.
per game.
Okay.
And again, of course, a visit is at the umpire's discretion. So whether it be first base walking the ball back and chatting, or actually the catcher coming to the mound.
So the other Michael is in the batter's box now. Michael Campbell steps in. Fouls one off third base side.
Into the Jason Pospisil Memorial Beer Garden.
That is where third base landed, isn't it?
Shout out to Pops if he's tuned in.
Pops is out there somewhere. If he's not tuned in live right now, he'll be watching the replay.
We love you, Pops. Good luck with the girls. Of course, looking after the girls coming forward. Jason Pospisil. He's taken over as head coach of your mob, Amy. You've got to be nice to Jason, do you?
Always nice to Jason. Have lots to do with him here in Sydney baseball.
Missing high and outside there is Fitzgerald. Campbell batting from the left-hand side, wide stance. Let's see if he can keep this going. There's only one out here in the bottom of the 8th. That was very high and wide. A little bit of a bobble out of the glove of Logan O'Hoppy.
Bazana was sweating on it too. If that ball hits the ground, Bazana was gone. He was a long way down when it popped out of the mitt, because from there it probably would have looked like it had gone straight over the mitt when it came out. So he was down a long way and had to scurry back to second base.
Hard hit ground ball across the diamond there. Shortstop, Peterson goes for it, makes a throw on the hop. And he gets that out there with Wingrove retrieving that ball, getting it there just before the runner gets there. So that is Michael Campbell out on a charge up the first base line on a 6-3 ground ball.
I think again we saw there, Amy, we said earlier we don't think Eric Peterson has the strongest of arms for an infielder, although he was well into the 5-6 hole when he had to backhand that and turn and throw off balance. But again, that throw one-hopped Rickson Wingrove and made it a pretty difficult play.
Change for Sydney.
That looks like the...
Connor McDonald.
I was going to say, it looks like the ever-hulking figure of Connor McDonald.
In for Jack Murphy.
Going to make some interesting changes in the defensive side of things when it comes around now that Murphy's out of the game.
Certainly will. In the bottom of the 8th. McDonald steps in. See what he can do. It gives him an opportunity to prove something to the coaching staff that he can hit the ball.
Nice luxury to have, though, to be able to rest Jack Murphy, isn't it, at this stage?
Yeah, well, he's done as much work as certainly Dormany has, and it's been a good game for the pair of them. And McDonald does rip one out there to left field side. Runner turns the corner. This is Bazana.
Oh, you're not going to catch him.
He gets run number 4 for Sydney. He had the wheels burning. Great base running from Bazana.
What about the pinch hit, though, from Connor McDonald, eh?
Excellent. Just ripped it down the left side. Goes in the book as a single to 7. What a great single it was.
RBI for Connor McDonald, and as you said, Harrow, Travis Bazana, he was off like a greyhound out of the boxes. As soon as that ball was hit off the bat, he had his head down and he was going. He didn't even look at the third base coach. He knew he was rounding and scoring, and absolutely no play out there for Hutchins at all.
Well, Brian Murphy is the third base coach, and he knows Bazana very, very well. And he knew that he was just pointing at home plate no matter what. At least by the time Hutchings had to retrieve the ball, first of all, on a hard hit ball, he still has to get it to home plate to get the out.
Trouble at second.
Besson out at second. And that was Connor McDonald sent up there for some reason.
55-foot curveball. Harrow in the dirt well in front of the catcher, and McDonald went the moment it hit the dirt. And Hoppy good enough to block it in front of him and then a strong enough arm to throw him out at second base.
Yeah. Okay, so put out there at second base is Connor McDonald. That shuts down the attack of the Sydney Blue Sox. But they do come up with one extra insurance run. Sydney lead Adelaide 4 runs to 0 after 8 completed innings.
Not all solar installers are created equal. As one of the largest independent solar and storage companies in Australia, SolarAid has award-winning expertise to ensure you get a smooth and expertly configured installation. A solar power system can save you tens of thousands from your power bills, add value to your home, and reduce your carbon footprint. To find out if solar's right for you, visit solaray.com.au/BlueSox. SolarAid Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And back at Blacktown International Sports Park, we are heading to the top of the 9th. The last chance saloon for the Adelaide Giants to see whether they can get something going here in this game. And Luke Wilkins comes on to the mound. We're just going to work through the actual positional changes as Wilkins takes over on the mound for Dormany. Behind the plate, looks like there might be Alex Howe behind the plate. I think it is, yeah. It's number 12. Alex Howe has gone into catching. And we need one more change at first base. That'll be Connor McDonald. He'll take over down there. Yep, he is a first baseman. He'll take over from Boss, who was subbed out for the running. That gives us 2 changes. That was all we had, wasn't it? A pinch hitter and a pinch runner. Yes. So I think we're right to go. So it'll be Luke Wilkins throwing to Alex Howe and Connor McDonald at first base are the defensive changes for the Blue Sox. The Adelaide Giants will start at the top of their order, trying to find 4 runs to keep this one alive. Eric Peterson to start things off. Wilkins goes straight inside. Looked like it might have just brushed the shirt. The umpire says no. Inside ball 1. As Funky Phil and the children start to congregate down at the first base side, ready for the running of the bases. Peterson pops this one up over the grandstand out of play. That'll end up down in the Blue Sox merchandise stand. So if you do like the jerseys the Blue Sox are wearing or their warm-up T-shirts, jump online, sydneybluesox.com.au. All the merch is coming. Or get yourself out here to the game. See Shirley. Use your Blue Sox membership. It gets you a discount on merchandise. You can pick up some fantastic stuff at the merch stand here at Blue Sox Stadium. Wilkins taking plenty of time with this 1-1 pitch. Little, excuse me, check swing. The ball hits the bat more than the bat hitting the ball. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one is inside. That one will catch him on the elbow, the front arm, but wearing an arm guard, an Evo shield there like most batters do these days. No damage done. Peterson will get the hit by pitch at first base, and something happening now for the Giants. They have a leadoff runner aboard. And I make that only the second time tonight their leadoff has got aboard. Can they make something happen? In fact, it's the 3rd time, and the last time they had it, they grounded into a double play. Let's see what they do this time around. Aaron Whitefield into the batter's box. 0 for 2. A strikeout, a fly out, and a walk. And Wilkins starts him with a called strike. Wilkins winds up again. This one fouled off. just over the glove. Out of the way of Alex Howe, who is behind the plate now for the Sydney Blue Sox. If you missed those changes, Jack Murphy having a break in the dugout. Getting a rare break for him. Usually plays all day, every day, but just getting this 9th inning off. He's still down there with the boys in the dugout. Connor McDonald taking over from Boss Mo in a row. A runner goes. It's chopped up the middle. There'll be no double play. They only have a play at first base. Burns takes too much time, does he? No. Just gets him and not happy at all. Whitefield straight in the face of first base umpire Bobby Crawford. Not in the slightest bit happy is Whitefield. He's off after the umpire and he'll be taken away. He's ejected. He's gone. He's been thrown out. I thought that Andy Burns had taken too much time personally.
I agree. I think that he needed to get rid of that ball a fair bit quicker to make that out.
And Whitefield livid at the call.
He ended up rushing the throw at the end. You could tell that he just looked up and thought, oh, this is urgent now.
We know that Whitefield has wheels. We've seen how he patrols those centre field depths, especially for like Australia in the Premier 12 competition. He has fantastic wheels. And I think Andy Burns just took a little bit too much time to get rid of it. And as a result, Aaron Whitfield, although called out at first base, he was adamant he was safe. And he let the umpire well and truly know about it. It will advance Peterson to second base. Chris Adamson not happy. He out there as well having a chat.
All right. There's some... Just got some stats in for Domini. We'll have a look at those shortly. Adelaide now the runner at second base, so Peterson got advanced on that play. As things settle down, now we get back to the game. Cole Stobie at the plate. Adelaide trailing Sydney by 4-0. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Last roll of the dice for the Giants. Big swing and a miss there from Stobie. 1 out on a 4-3 play. Second baseman Andy Burns just getting that call as he gets the ball fielded at second base across to Connor McDonald. Ground ball up the third base side to Eunice. Eunice gets the ball across to McDonald and they'll get the second out there on the 5-3 play.
Yeah, the line on Dormany was 8 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, and 35 balls to 60 strikes in his 95 pitches. So a
What an outing.
pretty handy outing that for Thomas Dormany.
Picnic day for Dormany.
Yeah,
Well done. Good day's work there. And, of course, the other end of that pitching is Jack Murphy. So what a combination.
So the Giants down to their last out. They trail by 4 runs. They have a runner at second in the form of Peterson. It's Ben Unklinski to try and keep things going. Hits it hard to left field. Going back is Brennan. He has a track on it. He will make the catch in a left field. And the Blue Sox will keep their unbeaten home run alive. They make it 2-0 over the Adelaide Giants in this best-of-4 series. Taking out tonight's game 4-0. So back-to-back shutouts for the Blue Sox over the Giants. And that will be most pleasing for Shane Barclay, Chris Oxspring, and the pitching staff here. Again, only using 2 pitches. They're getting another quality start out of their starters. Dormany was superb on the mound for the Blue Sox. Wilkins shuts them down, closes things out, and the Blue Sox, they now make that record 3-3 on the season. They lift it to 500, and they are looking good here at Blue Sox Stadium.
What a night. What a night. Amy and Cam, a game of baseball. It was a battle still, but the Blue Sox are eking out those runs when they really need them. 4-0 game tonight, 5-0 game last night. They've built those buffers and kids going mad around the infield there. This is the best part of the night for them. No school tomorrow, run around the diamond. They've been to baseball. Who knows what they've eaten and had.
Funky Phil will be happy that he survived tonight. Will be the main thing. He got around them tonight.
Energy food. The good news is they've got parents here as well, and they've been in the stand enjoying a night out. And this is better than sitting at home watching TV, I can tell you right now. But people that have sat at home and watched our broadcast, on your big screen TV through the internet or on your computer. Thanks for tuning in. We're glad we can bring you these games live. Of course, there's still the Brisbane game, the Melbourne game, rain delayed. And Cam will give us updates on those.
Just quickly grab an update for you, Harrow.
Don't forget, tomorrow night's game starts at 6:30 here at Blue Sox International Stadium.
Well, it looks like down in Melbourne they are back on. They've got now up into the 5th inning, so it looks like there is some more baseball being played down there. And I can tell you they will be going, it looks like, unless they are in the bottom of the 9th, I just haven't opened it up to have a good look. But we're tied 4-4 in Brisbane, so they may be heading off to the international tiebreaker.
Okay.
And over in Perth, they still haven't got away over there yet.
Okay, so you'll be able to continue watching baseball tonight through those games.
Oh, there you go.
Another hour to go in Perth before we get a start over there. So if you're one of the fans watching those, for everybody that's tuned in tonight, thanks for contacting us on Twitter and also on the SMS number. And we'll bring you all of the action again tomorrow night. First pitch at 6:30. We'll be on air around about 10 minutes before that at 6:20. And we'll bring you the same team and the Blue Crew, as we call ourselves, from the Skybox at Blue Sox Stadium. And we'll be able to bring you all of the play-by-play action between the Adelaide Giants and, of course, the home side, the Sydney Blue Sox, from 6:20 tomorrow evening, Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
So, Amy, how have you found your first run up here in the Blue Sox box for the season?
Oh, I've loved it. It's a great view, as you've said, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. So thanks for having me. And
slightly different perspective.
It is a different perspective, that's right. But you know, it's the sport I love, and I love talking. So watching the sport, I love talking. It's a
talking about it, isn't it? It's great, isn't it? There's no
absolutely.
better position, and as I said, we hope to see you plenty more as the season progresses, and we will. We'll get you down there and get you doing some interviews and some chats down on the field once that sort of rolls around and that technology comes online. It's more things to look forward to here on Blue Sox TV. We will be growing it as the season develops, developing it as the season comes along, and it will be a well-polished machine by the time we get those, I can't say dirty cavalry up here at the last round. It's the dirty bandits down here next round, isn't it?
You're licking your lips for the Cavs, aren't you?
We love a Cavs. There's nothing like the Subway Series and the rivalry between the Cavs and the Blue Sox.
And what a series next week between the reigning champions, Brisbane Bandits, and the Sydney Blue Sox, who are trying to get that mantle from them. It's going to be a battle for any team in Australia to wrest the mantle away from the Bandits. They'll battle all the way to the finish line. But certainly the Sox are going to meet them next week. But we've still got 2 games to go against the Adelaide Giants. Giants will be looking to square the series. They still have that opportunity. It is Sydney 2-0 in the series at the moment, with 2 games still yet to play. As I said, we'll bring you all of that. It's our pleasure to bring you these games, the first 2 games of the series, tonight's completion as well. So on behalf of Amy Collins, Big Cameron Hickson, I'm Paul Harradine. You've been watching Blue Sox TV, proudly presented to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. Tune in again tomorrow night. And until tomorrow, thanks for viewing. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.